What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Hey.
Let's get going on it.
That fancy ass stream there, or fancy ass intro. That was my first attempt. When I got my Final Cut Pro, it was like a fucking kindergartner did it for extra credit.
Love the intro pops. That Wild Things scene, gotta love it.
Yeah, I had to throw the little words at the bottom so the titty wouldn't be hanging out. So I had to cover that up. But yeah, guys, we're here for doing our top 5 Scream Factory. If you guys didn't see the thumbnail, our Scream Factory Collector's Edition. I actually had went through all my Collector's Edition to see if anything changed, because I did a top 5 when I first started my channel, and top 3 pretty much stayed the same. I had a couple changes on the backside. What about you guys? Y'all have any trouble picking top 5?
Yes. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't easy, is it?
It's not.
There's just so many of them, you know. It's
and
there's so many things to consider, you know. Like, you know, it's not just about your favorite movie. It's just there's so many other ththings I try to look at. But yeah, it's tough, man. I think I started at like 20 something, and then I narrowed it down to 5. It was hard.
Yeah. It's like I told Alan. It's like doing these streams. It's like that movie, The Good Son, at the end. You know, you just by the end of it,
you got to let go of one of them. You know,
somebody's got to die.
Pretty much.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
We'll see who we got out there, guys. We got 7 people out there right now watching. What's going on, Ken? Tony, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Tony.
The Iron Man, what's up, Tony?
Enjoyed the live vinegar show this morning. I appreciate it, man.
Yep. That took a lot of thought to steal it from Dead Pit.
So if y'all motherfuckers come back and watch this in a month, and I'm wearing the same clothes, we did this in the last stream the same day. I ain't some nasty bitch. So just so y'all know. I am kind of a nasty bitch, but ain't because of that. Gizmo said, I want to follow this video, but I need to go to bed. War in Europe, electricity prices are crazy, and the dogs need to go out for a piss. All right. What's going on, Scolder?
Scolder coming live from Middle Earth.
Bob, Dane Pop, Scream Factory stream, and I wasn't invited. What's up, everyone?
That's because I'm on the stream, Bobby. I'm on the stream. I demanded that you not be allowed. So
this is the not on keto stream, so that's why we're here.
Yeah, you didn't make the weight limit, Bob. You didn't quite make the weight limit.
If you can make weight in any professional combat sport, you cannot be on this stream.
There's got to be at least 2,000 pounds in this stream right now. Maybe more.
At least. I don't think the 4 of us could be on an elevator together.
I'm going to take the next one. Y'all go ahead. Well, Ringer's saying hello. I knew Brad was the reason. Nah, Bob, we'll get you on here soon, man.
I told Brian the same thing.
Anthony, what's going on, man?
Hey.
Hey. Trini, what's up, man? What's up, fellas? But well, guys, I guess we'll get started. I guess the order we're in, Brad, you get to go first. If you want to start with your number 5.
Yeah, I'm not going to blather on and on about these like a retard like I normally do, but I love old Scream Factory. I feel like Brick Tamlin from Anchorman. I love Scream Factory, old Scream Factory. I don't like the way they're going. I hope they continue to be around, but I want them to go back to the old shit. That being said, my number 5, Slither. I love this movie. The artwork's fucking incredible. I'm glad to see this movie get, the fanfare it deserves, but more of a modern movie, but I know people go crazy for the older stuff, but this artwork's killer, the movie's killer, so much fun, it's disgusting.
Yeah. That was an interesting watch, man. I saw it like for the first time a year ago.
Yeah, James, it's an odd movie. It's James Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just done a ton of stuff, and I think this is his first feature. But I love the cast. I love everything about it. And if you haven't seen this one and you're into just like slime and I don't know, gore is not even the word. It's more gross than gore. But it's
like
a fun one.
You call it like body horror? Is that what they call that?
Yeah, I don't know what you would call it, man. I mean, it's body horror, but I mean, it's But you know, it's good old Scream Factory. It's got good features. I mean, again, the artwork. This is what I think of when I think of Scream Factory. This kind of stuff, not the new stale shit. But keep it short and sweet, man. Check this one out. This is a lot of fun.
For sure.
Yeah, very underrated movie too, man.
I can see that one getting a 4K re-release with original.
I bet so. But see, it'd be a travesty because we have this killer artwork. We're going to get a re-release, and if we do, it'll be poster art. That's bullshit. Yeah. This won't be available anymore. We won't have that on the reverse or anything for whatever reason. But
you swap the slips out. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't understand that. I don't know why Scream Factory does that.
You think it's art? They paid for it. Why not use it? But
yeah.
And especially now, man, you got so many people collecting all this boutique shit. You got Vinegar Syndrome knocking it out with all these fancy slipcovers. If Scream Factory was still doing artwork like that, you know, they could stay up there, you know, a step above or even with Vinegar Syndrome as far as packaging goes. That's the reason why so many people fell in love with Scream Factory, including myself, was that great artwork.
Yep.
You know, obviously the movies, but the artwork is what really drew me in.
Yep.
So
sooner or later, they're either going to have to sell or get back to what made them successful in the first place. But speaking of that stuff, I had a chance to talk to Tommy or Craig about this. What did you guys think of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff that came out today?
That was a pretty solid choice for Texas Chainsaw. It's cool that Vinegar Syndrome's re-releasing Scream Factory titles under their label now. So you know the slipcovers are going to be awesome, and they do a great job with their transfers. But yeah, it's cool to see that. So if they're losing the rights to them, at least they got another reputable company that's going to pick them up and do them justice.
Take the fucking ball and run with it is an understatement with the TCM2. I mean, that's a home run to me. I think you see the special features on that. It's fucking loaded.
Heck, man. Absolutely.
Brand new artwork.
Mate, Texas Chainsaw 2 was just a must for 4K. You know, like, I'm so happy we're getting it.
Yeah.
You see the inner slip, the back, where they incorporated the Breakfast Club. So I love that you know, have it there. But you know what I mean? Like, obviously, everybody wanted to see that.
Oh
yeah. You know. So I mean, like I said, I could not be happier with that release.
Hell yeah.
Even at the price, $42, you're paying $36 for a Scream Factory Blu-ray or Scream Factory 4K. For $5 more, look what you get for $5 extra.
Oh, totally worth
it. Yeah.
Cool edition. You get it in a box set, and if you don't like the box, you can pull it out and just have the slipcover.
Yeah.
You know, so
and that slip's badass with them cutting through the door and everything. I mean,
yeah, I would say it's definitely a home run release for Vinegar Syndrome. Like, probably one of the best they've done in a really, really long time.
Yeah. And when they're selling it direct to you at $42.99, 10,000 units, just with a slip, 500 grand, something like that, close to it, you know.
Yep.
And that's just the slips. Imagine what the standard release is going to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that they got MGM titles. So, like, if Scream Factory loses the rights to carry, that'd be another cool Vinegar Syndrome release.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that artwork would look like?
Hell yeah, man.
You know, we're talking about this like with the Scream Factory thing. Like, man, I hope they do a good job with this new release they got. I hope they get new artwork. You don't have to worry about that with Vinegar Syndrome. If they get it, they're gonna do new artwork.
Yep.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be crazy. You know.
Yeah.
And I just don't know why Scream Factory's going down this road, and I can't. It's what made them put them on the map. Their own artwork is what put them on the map.
Yeah.
Now they're doing this sterile shit, and
that's what sold me. You know, it's before I got into it. I would always see the releases coming out and other people collect them, and the first thing that would come to mind is just how badass those, the new art and everything was on those releases. That's what pulled me in was their artwork. So, I don't know, man. Like, I know there's a lot of big 4K fans out there that are happy that they're getting a lot of these new titles on 4K, but something tells me they can't be doing as good financially as they used to. I don't know.
I think it was a smart move that they picked up a lot of more mainstream stuff now, like Texas Chainsaw and Amityville Horror, because that stuff sells very well, more than the unknown stuff. So it's a smart business move on their part.
And not only that, it's going to pull more people into the label. You know, they're going to come and they're going to get that. They're going to go, what is this? They're going to start looking at the company because most people ain't going to come in for some of that other shit they put out.
Good point.
It's kind of a very, very niche market. But you got somebody coming in for a Roadhouse, you got a brand new customer coming in.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's going to love the Roadhouse release, and he's going to go, oh, let's see what else they got. By the way, they captured his email, they got his phone number, and next time they have a sale, he's going to get a message saying, hey, come check it out.
Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome's definitely heading in the right direction, man. And they've been around for a little while and they've been doing good, but I think now they're really going to start taking off.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what the next couple of years bring.
Yeah,
hope they keep it up. All right, Tommy, what you got for your number 5, buddy?
Scream Factory's got Christmas releases, right? Coming, maybe.
I don't know. Have they announced anything for Christmas yet this year?
I haven't heard anything yet.
No, I don't think probably Monday because they've been doing like so like if something's getting released or announced in October, it's going to get released in December.
Yeah.
So I would think on Monday they're going to announce a 4K of either Black Christmas, the original, or Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. You never know. Or they might even throw a curveball and release my number one holy grail, Black Christmas 2006 remake. I hope it happens. But
I did notice Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2 were both in that sale, the Blu-rays. So maybe
clean house.
Yeah, clean house before the 4Ks come out.
I think for the most part, like they pretty much put out at least one thing every year for Christmas. Like last year was Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think they always have something. So I'd be pretty surprised if we didn't get something this year. So
yeah,
I think the next week we'll know. We'll hear something.
So is that how we're doing it? We're gonna all do our number 5 and then number 4 and just keep going around like that.
Yeah.
We'll all do 5, and then we'll do 5, then catch up with the chat, and then on and on.
Sounds good. All right. Well, again, this list was really, really hard to narrow down, but I think I'm pretty happy with the top 5. But number 5 for me is definitely They Live. This was once I had really gotten into Scream Factory, I decided I wanted to go through and try to watch like every single Scream Factory.
Shit.
And
I touched something.
I'm not that far away, but I still got I probably got through about 3/4 of my Scream Factories, but I started watching them from the beginning, in order of release, and this was one of the first big blind watches that I was so happy with. I don't know why I never saw this before, like when I was younger, because I love 80s horror and I big fan of wrestling my whole life, and I love Roddy Piper. So why I never saw this movie, I have no idea. But this was so good, man. Like just awesome 80s cheese and awesome one-liners, and that fight scene with him and what's his name?
Keith
David.
Was just right? It was so insane. Like it just went on and on. But yeah, I mean, other than the movie being so badass, it's definitely probably the best blind watch so far since that I've seen with my Scream Factories. But the art, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that artwork. I love how they stuck the buy sticker on there.
Yeah, you got that one a lot. But later on, they didn't have that. I don't have the one with the buy sticker.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
got
a rare
lucky
one.
and found the one with the buy sticker. You don't really get a lot of special features on here, unfortunately, but yeah, badass movie, and this had to make it into my top 5.
Fuck yeah. I was digging for that for like an hour trying to find it, and I realized I sold it to upgrade to the 4K. And I wish I didn't. That artwork is so much better.
Oh, God.
Art.
Yeah. Such a badass movie. I mean, the famous, came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm all out of bubblegum.
Rest in peace, Roddy Piper, man.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
I seen that one in theaters first time I seen it. And
that
fight scene, man. And it was a blind watch too. I knew Roddy Piper. I was into wrestling somewhat then.
Yeah.
But I went into it just whatever it looked cool, and that fight scene blew me away, man. I was an instant fan, and I went back to it a lot of times just to watch that fight scene. Sometimes I'll pop it in and just go to the fight scene. But 10 minutes is great, man.
Yep, hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's not as long as people think, but it's still a very, very long fight scene.
Yeah.
It
It
seems
just
like it's a half hour.
drags, man. It's so funny. And I love it how like in the middle they kind of like give up for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they start going again. It's just I'm just like, oh my God, how long is this fight scene?
He breaks that window. He's like, oh shit.
You imagine how much fun that must have been to like film?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And they let Roddy Piper choreograph that, and they said it took some crazy amount of time to do it.
I can see
don't know
that
if it was
taking
2 weeks or
days.
2 months, but it was a while. So
Yeah.
But what you got there, Craig?
All right. So as I mentioned before, this was a very difficult list for me to narrow down. I narrowed it to a top 10, and then once I got to the 10, picking those top 5. I mean, every one of them was well deserving to be in the top 5, but I kind of went based on, a mixture of how many times I watched it and loved it, and the artwork, and just the nostalgia factor for these movies.
Yeah.
And the impact they had on me, and being a movie fan and a horror fan. So number 5, it's going to surprise some people that it's not higher up, like closer to number 1. But my number 5, I had to go with Alone in the Dark. This was a title that I've been requesting ever since I got into Scream Factory. Since 2012, I've been emailing those guys, messaging the guys on Facebook. Can you please put out Alone in the Dark? And a lot of people kept saying they're never going to get Warner Brothers. They're never going to get them. And then it was 2018. They finally got a Warner deal. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to come. Alone in the Dark. And it wasn't in that first wave of titles. Remember, we were like, come on, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
And I've been talking this movie up to so many people in the community that haven't seen it. And I may have overhyped it a little bit for some people, because some people watch it and be like, that was just okay. I mean, but I love the movie. Came out in 1982, stars Donald Pleasance. Who are the other two guys? I'm trying to think.
Martin Landau.
Martin Landau, and who's the guy from Curly?
Jack Palance.
Jack Palance, right? And it's about 4. It's kind of like Halloween a little bit, where it's like escape mental patients, but instead of being one guy, it's 4. There's 4 guys that escape a mental patient or mental institution, and it's like a home invasion movie where they, try to attack the doctor. They think the doctor killed the new doctor killed their original doctor. Yeah. So it just, a blackout happens and they escape, and they just, they siege the doctor's house. And it's just so cool, because the reason it's called Alone in the Dark is because it's a blackout. So they don't have any power, and they're just trying to protect their family and their home from these psychopaths. And what's cool is, like, each of the psychopaths have different personalities. Like Martin Landau's a preacher who would burn down churches. And then you got Jack Palance, who was like a veteran suffering PTSD. And then you have the big guy, Fatty, who was like a molester. And then you have who's the 4th guy? The bleeder.
The guy in the hockey mask or whatever.
Yeah. So and the thing about this was, this came out in 1982, the same year that Jason wore the hockey mask in Friday the 13th Part 3. So there's a lot of debate out there. Who had the hockey mask first? Was it the bleeder, or was it Jason?
Yeah.
I think this did come out first. But yeah, when this got announced, I mean, it was like, I almost wanted to cry, because I've been waiting almost 10 years for them to put this out.
I can just see the guys at Scream Factory. They're like, okay, let's.
I know. He's like,
shut this fuck some bitch up. Put it out already. Damn.
They're like, he's not going to give up. But this is such a cool movie. I mean, it's slow at some parts, but then like during the blackout, it really picks up. And then when the home invasion scene happens, it's just awesome and fast paced, and you just, it's very unpredictable.
It's definitely the title, even the new title and the old one. It's pretty deceiving, because like you see the title, I mean the cover, and then you hear the title, Alone in the Dark. Like,
well,
I
this
just
is what
expected
people
to be
were
a
used to
slasher
seeing.
movie.
You see this title right here. You see the poster. You see, like, it looks like a slasher in the woods, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a little bit misleading, but yeah, it's a really fun movie. And if anyone hasn't seen it, I just give it a watch. I mean, I talked it up to Tommy, and he ended up loving it. And it wasn't something that he thought it was going to be, but it's turned out being better. So
got a cool twist ending.
It does have a cool twist ending. And,
the first time I seen it was that release there. That's the first time I ever watched it. And I loved the shit out of it, man. It was great. And the guy that plays that guy, Fatty, whatever. That's the guy that played Dynamo in The Running Man. He's the same actor.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he passed
But,
away really early, whatever. He was a professional wrestler and all this kind of stuff. He was a fucking genius in real life, whatever. But he died really early. But you got 2 Academy Award winners in this, Jack Palance and Martin Landau. You got a hell of a fucking cast for this type of movie.
And then Donald Pleasance. I mean, come on.
Donald Pleasance, yeah.
There's a lot in that movie. There's a lot of good stuff in that movie, but the stuff with the bleeder, to me, I always love that, the way they, invert that and all that. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast.
And what's special about this is that it came out the same year that Tommy's Holy Grail came out from Vestron. Yeah. So like me and Tommy, I mean, this and the Wraith, I mean, it holds a special place in our heart because both of our Holy Grails got released at the same time.
Yeah, by 2 of our favorite boutique labels, and I'm telling you, it was the same thing. The guys at Scream Factory and the guys at Vestron, they're probably just like, oh my God, let's just shut these 2 fat asses up and put their titles up.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the character of Donald Pleasance, he's almost playing Dr. Loomis, but like a little bit more hippie-like.
Yeah. I felt the same thing. Yeah, I noticed the same thing. My number 5 here, guys. This ain't gonna be very exciting because one of y'all already fucking showed it, but Slither. So,
I had a feeling we were gonna have some of us were gonna match shit up. Yeah,
I mean, I got a couple of alternates laying here just in case, but I didn't want to move this one out of the way, man. I love this fucking movie. If anything, I could have done it a little bit higher, man. It's the artwork, it's the features. You don't get a ton of features. There's some good shit on here, but the practical effects of this movie, man, it's just fucking great. Yes. It came out in 2006. Is that right? Yeah, 2006. James Gunn. Whenever I went and seen this in theaters, I remember there being like 1 or 2 other people in the theater. It did absolutely shit in theaters. It didn't start becoming a classic until it came to physical media.
That's Michael Rooker, right?
Michael Rooker,
yeah. Michael Rooker's fucking great in this. You got Nathan Fillion. You got fucking Elizabeth Banks, man. Elizabeth Banks, man. She's got all kind of gravy on her taters, man. She's badass. She does
gravy on her taters.
I love the little. There was a little like a kind of a love triangle in there, but it's funny. It's like the guy never left his hometown because his hometown favorite girl is still there, and he's been carrying this fucking torch his whole life,
right?
And you think they're gonna, I just that was a cute little story arc they put in there. I thought, but especially she's having problems with her relationship at the time, and it's like this is his big change. She married the rich guy in town, and
right.
I was really happy with that movie. Like it was pleasant surprise, like that crazy body gore that we got. It just got so gross. It kind of like reminded me of like the same type of vibe as like The Fly.
Yeah.
Like it just
that barn scene, that girl that's about to fucking explode where in the barn, that was rough to watch, man. It really was. But you got this great fucking artwork here. But I also love the original artwork too. I've always been a fan of that as well. And, this is back in the good old fucking days when we got reverse cover art.
Yeah.
Why can't they still do that on all these releases? But I've always liked the movie, man. It's always been one that I go back to all the time. I love the body horror, the practical effects. There's some CGI, but it's mostly practical. It's just a great fucking release, man. One of my favorites.
The humor's great too in it, and
great horror.
You get Michael Rooker going to buy meat, and he's like, you know what? Give me half a dozen. You know what? Better make it a dozen.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 dozen.
That scene with the girl, though, that scene with the big girl before she blows up, that's how I feel every time I leave Minnesota after visiting Tommy.
All right, guys, let's call up on the chat real fast here. I think that's where we left off. Tony's saying he likes the mask and the background, Tommy. Yeah, I do too.
Oh, thanks. That's only one of about, 50 masks I have down here.
Yeah, I like the way you got them display too, and they look good.
Yeah, I wanted to do like a Halloween store.
Right. Bob says, "Hey, Tony, Culture, Anthony, Scolder, Gizmo." They're saying, "What's up?"
Hey, Holland, what's up?
What's going on, Holland? All right, everybody's saying, "Hey, get through all that." All right, Bob says, "This is Bob's Blu-ray, everyone." What's up, Holland? What's going on, Scolder? You ain't Bob anymore. It's Robert Reels.
Robert's Reels.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he can't post on his main channel. He can't post on my streams. I ain't never fucking blocked him. I don't know what happened, but
Is that Thor, Craig?
What's that? Yeah, it's a dog. Yeah.
Is that your dog I'm hearing?
Bob said Holland reported me on one of Pop's streams. I can't comment anymore.
That sounds about right.
Ken says it gets too complicated for me to pick out my favorite releases. Have to consider your love for the film, the packaging, transfer, extras, etc. All that went into play for me.
Yeah, it's all
Me too.
like I was saying, like I was talking to I forget who the fuck I was talking about. I was like something like this. The artwork's a 10, the movie's a 7. I got, rewatchability, whatever. It all somehow computes in this fucking brain
Yeah.
to
Kind of the same
come out.
I use like Pet Sematary 2 was a favorite release for mine. I've always loved that movie, and I was so happy when it finally came to Blu-ray. Like I do not like the art on that. That's why I didn't think the art is stupid. That's why I didn't put it in this list. But
All right. Also, I'm still waiting on the verdict on this account. Count your days, Robert. And the thing, just Tuesday, I called Holland Oates the GOAT. Slither is great. I'll be rewatching that one this month. Great artwork, great pick, Brad.
Thank you, Bobby.
Holland said, I can't handle the fame. So saying hello. Good chance Vinegar gets Carry 4K with a new MGM deal. Same with Killer Clowns. The Killer Clowns would be another they could do some great artwork for.
we never thought about that. Do you think that's possible, Craig?
I don't
We've
know.
always talked about Arrow re-release.
I feel like Arrow would keep that. That's something they would hold on to.
Okay.
Well, is the Arrow release of Killer Clowns, is that a UK release or did they have a US version?
There's a US version too.
Okay. So then they probably have the rights still.
Yeah, because I got the FYE slipcover one I got.
Yep.
Bob said, I thought this was a Scream Factory stream, not a Vinegar Syndrome stream. Well,
Hey man, listen, Vinegar Syndrome, I still think they're having the best year out of any boutique label. And they have,
I can't argue with you on
kind
that.
of been a mediocre year as far as the
It's
other
definitely
labels.
better than this year for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says, I saw Smile today. It was a solid watch. It definitely could have been trimmed down by about 10 minutes. It had a really cool score and was directed well. Kevin Bacon's daughter is the lead. I didn't know that was Kevin Bacon's daughter. I don't know. It says, say no more, Anthony. I'm going to go see it. Bob says, if Scream Factory doesn't change their ways and start correcting their mistakes, these mistakes, I don't see them sticking around for much longer. They ain't going nowhere. They're definitely lost fans this year. Yeah, Bob, you got to think about it, though. How many fucking people bought those Child Plays? Go out there and look and type in Child's Play 4K. You're going to see a gazillion fucking videos.
Yeah.
People are bitching, but they're still buying shit.
Yeah, I think the majority of those videos are just talking about the oil shit.
Yeah.
Cream.
Yeah, people are bitching, but they ain't lost no fans. The same people that are bitching are still buying the movies.
Yeah,
For the most part.
All right,
I ain't
Alan.
everybody, but for the most part.
All right,
I'm
Alan.
back on. I know. I said I'm gonna calm down. I ain't gonna start.
I'm
But
down off the cross.
Scream Factory ain't fucking going nowhere. They got a goddamn gazillion motherfuckers buying shit. Ken says, I believe Dawn of the Dead 4K remake leaked for December via Scream Factory.
I saw that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Holland says, there's the first Cream Factory. I was waiting for it. Cream Factory can come and release it all they want, but I'm pretty sure people want better artwork. Yeah, they do. Gizmo says, this is not to be rude, but can I just ask why so many on YouTube like Black Christmas remake? In my opinion, I think the movie missed every beat and just effed up the entire reason of the premise of the film. The reason why the classic is so great is because it always feels so dark and gritty, and I don't, hold on, give a shit.
Well,
I just love that
are you
2006
talking about
remake. I love it.
Gizmo? Are you talking about the 06 remake? Because that's what
Or the
we're
19
talking about.
or 18, whatever it is.
We're not talking about the 18, but
Yeah.
it is different, the 06 remake than the original. You see the killer a lot more. He's,
Right.
all that stuff. But I think they're both great differently. They're both great for different reasons. They're both totally different styles.
I agree. The 06 remake I saw that before the original. So I didn't even know. I think when I first saw 06 remake, I didn't even know that was a remake.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was an original Black Christmas, and now seeing the original, I like it better. But 06, I agree though with Craig. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. More positive reviews from what I've seen. Maybe I'll hate it. Just talking about Smile. Going on, Indy. What is up, guys? I do enjoy Scream Factory.
Yep.
We both hated Barbarians, so we might share some similar taste in movies. I've heard mostly good things about Barbarians. Anybody seen that yet?
No, I've heard nothing but positive things.
Yeah, I've heard mostly positive.
Sounds creepy.
Holland says, yeah. I've never seen Alone in the Dark. I got to check that out, man. It's a good one, man. I really liked it. I've only seen it the one time when I first got that release from Scream, but I enjoyed it. All right, JS, what's going on, man? I was super happy to see Alone in the Dark come out. I had only seen it 2 years before on a DVD 4-pack.
Yeah, I ended up buying a sealed DVD of that for like $30 to $40. I paid for it, and then because it was out of print on DVD, and then they of course announced the Scream Factory. So fuck, but it's all right because right when they announced it, I ended up selling my DVD for pretty much the same price that I paid.
Well, we thank you for your service.
Greg, somebody breaking in.
He's barking at me because I'm eating Cheetos.
Get the fucker Cheeto.
I can't give him any. I already did the tilt.
He's already done.
Let her lick your fucking fingers. I know you got fucking Cheeto dust.
Yeah, like let him lick your fingers like a Toy Story 2.
He can't remind me later. Fingers. He can't let him lick his fingers because he's got fucking chocolate all over his fingers from Reese's.
Yep. Y'all remind me later. I got a funny Cheeto story. Remind me to tell you my Cheeto story for the stream's over.
All right.
Great view on their taters. Yeah, not everybody can say they got a funny Cheeto story, but I got one. Anthony says Michael Rooker steals every fucking scene he's in, no matter which movie he's in. Such a badass. Oh, I'm a huge Michael Rooker fan, man. So a couple quotes from Alone in the Dark. Dr. Leo Bain, played by Donald Pleasance. The men's violence is a cry of pain, but nobody hears it. Dan Potter, the 3 men they murdered hear them. And he says, Leo, played by Pleasance. The men's violence, okay, that's just I think he did it twice. Leo's assistant, don't you think we should call the police, Leo? Dr. Payne, never. Don't you think? Okay, I guess he doubled up. Maybe he's yeah, he's both of those twice. Wild Wrangler, happy Alone in the Dark.
Oh yeah.
Indie fan, I'm taking a break from watching the movie Blonde, hoping to see Anna de Armas naked soon. No offense, but she is prettier than y'all, but I love these countdowns.
She's naked in about everything, so I'm pretty sure she's naked in it.
All right, we have Trails. Dirk, what's going on, buddy? How y'all doing? Smile was great, by the way. Need to be seen in the cinema.
I'm gonna call your uncle later and see if I can check it out.
There you go. Yeah, so I like Barbarians. Hated the ending. Justin Long was great. I hear Justin Long. I heard his scenes are pretty funny. Didn't know he was even going to be in it.
I heard he's coming back for Tusk too. That's not a joke. I hear.
I heard that too.
Tusk too.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear more about that. See what they're going to do with the sequel. Hold on, said hey to Dirt. Gizmo said the 2019 version is pure trash. I will rewatch 2006 version and give it another chance. It was during the time of good remakes, Don Hills, etc.
Yeah, Gizmo. There's an unrated version of the 2006 remake that's got more, got more gore, got more everything in it. I checked that out.
Yeah. Dirk, I just saw Smile today too, man. Definitely a great theater experience and a really solid movie. All right, there he goes. Dirk says, "Yeah, fuck Scream Factory." How was that sell, Dirk? What all did you buy? You want to listen to what all you bought? He says, "Fuck Scream Factory," but I still like fucking that bitch every now and then. Throwing her clothes as I'm kicking her out the door. Kick rocks, whore. Yeah. Medication ain't kicked in yet, Dirk. Bob says Brad's not wrong. I was just saying today the Scream Factory is having one of the worst years for labels, and VS is having one of the best. They've leaped to my favorites. Yeah.
I mean, maybe VS is not having an insanely great year, but I think everybody else is kind of having a down year. So I mean, the stuff that they're doing is standing out.
Yeah.
True. Yep.
Well, I don't think Kino's really falling off any. They're still putting out a shitload of titles. A shitload of 4Ks.
Kino's about the same.
But they're kind of staying the same, I mean, they're always real good.
But this is kind of a breakout year, like you were saying, for Vinegar Syndrome, bringing in these, Roadhouse. Who the fuck? When Born to Be Rad said that he thought it was going to be Roadhouse, if I was on that stream, I would have insulted him for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I was
there's
really
no
surprised to see
fucking way,
Roadhouse.
you
I didn't think
idiot.
that was going to
There's
happen.
no way it's Roadhouse.
Yeah.
You
Did not think that was going to happen.
You fell on your head one too many times. There's no fucking way it's Roadhouse. And then 30 seconds later, Roadhouse comes right up.
Yeah.
That was pretty
what we know.
shocking.
Yeah, shocking for sure. But I'm glad
Yeah,
we
I
did it.
couldn't. My hand started shaking. I couldn't get to the goddamn buy button fast enough. Jay says I deleted 2 of those, but I think they will show up in StreamYard.
They'll still show, even if you delete them.
Gotcha. All right, so hey to Holland. Bob, all shit, Dirk is in the house. I'm gonna have you on a stream soon if you're up for it. All right. Yeah, Bob was asking me earlier when I was gonna have him on my channel, man. Bob, we gotta come up with something, man. We'll get you on here soon. We'll get you on a countdown or something, man.
Don't worry about it, Bob. I'll be on vacation or something, and then
All I said it was a real sale this time, though. That I can say about Cream Factory. Yeah, it was. Usually their sales suck, man. This is probably the best sale they've ever had that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Usually their fucking sales ain't much.
Oh yeah,
Gravy on her father's. Okay. Jay says Arrow's having a weaker year than usual.
yeah. Anthony was just talking about that. They haven't had, and we're the horror titles. I mean, they just haven't had a super big year. I mean, what was the last big groundbreaking, like super excited for a title from Arrow?
Wild Thing. Probably.
Wild Things was what, last year? Was that even this year?
Yeah, I guess it was in the last year.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
I don't know,
Um, Flatliners was a cool one. I mean, I wouldn't say that's like a huge release, but that was definitely a cool one for me. But the thing I was most disappointed about was I was so excited to see that Prince of Thieves was getting a 4K, but when I found out it's UK only, I was pissed.
Yeah, no, Wild Things was this year. True Romance was last year. Wild Things was this year.
It was a cool release. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
But just, that's been a while ago now. But I know Wolf of Wall Street, people are very excited for that. But a lot of people aren't either. There's a lot of people that are going, well, what the fuck? Why are they even doing that? But
Dude,
yeah,
you got a credit card that's got fucking cocaine on it. I mean, come on, man. That was a day one for me also. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Gizmo says Eureka is really great. They're doing good, but I think Blue Underground has been quiet this year. By the way, what kind of dog is talking to me?
That's a German short-haired pointer.
Gravy on her taters is the greatest quote ever. We need a shirt pops. That's not a bad idea. Deadpit was asking me the other day if I had any more shirt ideas. So Wild Wrangler says, never look at someone smiling at me again. Not ordinary. What's going on, buddy?
Hey,
all right.
welcome.
Oh no, saying hey to Dr. Ordinary. Dirk says, what's up to Bob? Hey, Ryan. All right, Blue Underground hasn't released a new title all year. Every single one of their 4Ks is a re-release. I won't buy another Blu-ray from them. I'll just wait, try and release at least one new thing. Damn. Yeah, I think even that what is it? The goddamn Uncle Sam movie. That was a Blu-ray they had before. They just upgraded to 4K, right?
Has Blue Underground, has any of Blue Underground's 4Ks been a first time, or are they all re-releases?
I think they're all re-releases. I didn't have any of the Blu-rays, so they were all brand new buys for me because I didn't have any Blue Underground stuff. But going back and looking, I think they've all been re-releases. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I hadn't really had any Blue Underground titles before, and then when the 4K started coming out, I've gotten every one of them so far. But I know if they were.
My first one was Zombie on 4K. That was the first Blue Underground I ever bought. And the only Blue Underground I've bought since has just been the 4K releases. Goddamn, they're expensive as fuck. So I just buy those. They're like, what, $55 a piece?
I know. My dumbass bought all 3 of the Dead and Burieds.
Oh, did you? I just bought the one with the needle going in the eyeball. That's the one I bought.
Yeah, I don't know why I bought them all because I'm an idiot.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, it crossed my mind, but I never did that one. But it did cross my mind. Matt, what's going on, man? Tommy, thoughts on season 5 of Cobra Kai? Where do you think it's going?
No, if I answer that question, we're gonna be talking for like the next 3 hours. I'll just say it was my favorite season so far, and I think they got big things coming in season 6 for this new tournament they're all going to. So,
yeah, I'm just gonna say this: I just got to binge watching the last season. I'm a big fan of the show. You got all the motherfuckers in the back of the limos singing "Eye of the Tiger." I could have watched that for 3 hours on loop.
Right?
I don't know. That was just badass, man. My 80s nerve was going crazy.
That show has got to be the biggest ever when it comes to fan service.
Oh, man. Yeah, they got it down. Bob saying, hey to Dr. Ordinary. Allie, what's going on? Thanks for sending me the link to the stream, Craig. I hate that I missed the first bit of it, but I'm happy to be here now. I appreciate you being here. Gizmo said, I grew up with a German short-hair pointer. I used to steal its food and eat it. My father said, very good dogs for family and hunting.
Yes, they are.
All right, Gizmo.
Laughing at Brad. All right, guys, we can move on to our number 4 here. Got 28 people out there, guys. Not bad.
Thanks, everybody. Hit the like.
Yeah, man. What you got there, Brad?
Well, so factoring in artwork, all this stuff. To me, this movie, as far as horror movies goes, it's a 10. I love this movie. The artwork, not so much, but I had to have it, and it's on the release. It's on the list just because I love the movie so much. But it's Halloween 2. Now I know the Blu-ray has the better artwork. I get it, but again, when I hear about the 4K coming out, I start pushing the Blu-ray out the fucking door, and this is what you end up with. You know, the Pumpkin Spice Fall edition with the fucking leaf blower behind them. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I still don't know what they're thinking, but
Leaf blower.
The pumpkin spice.
you get the reverse artwork at least, and so you can have this. But this movie, I've loved it since I was a little kid. I like it more than the original. I don't give a shit. Shoot me. This movie's so much faster. There's so much more going on in it. Loomis is extra fucking crazy in this one, opposed to the first one where he's just going nuts. He's full on off the chain in this one. Carpenter didn't want so much gore, and he didn't want all the tits and shit in it. But fuck him. The producers made him go back and write some more shit so they could have some more kills and stuff. So this is a slasher. The first one isn't a slasher in my opinion. The first one's a slow burn, an atmospheric slow burn. This is an actual slasher. So I mean, I've always loved the hospital setting. I've always loved everything about it, the way it's the isolation. I mean, I could go on and on. Just it's got all the great stuff from the first one, but there's more of it. There's more going on. It just right from the jump, it starts off and it never stops. So you're right down to the iconic ending with everybody blowing up. Like I said, short and sweet, man. I don't know what anybody could say about Halloween 2 other than it's a quintessential must-have for Halloween. Every year, I watch it at least once a year, and I'll continue to buy every release of this until I'm dead.
I have one gripe with Halloween 2, and I want to see if you agree with me. As much as I like the guy, Dick Warlock's portrayal of Michael Myers sucks compared to Nick Castle. Like
a little robotic.
That's what I was going to say. He walks like a robot. He's all slowed down. And even his face, like his mask, like the mask doesn't fit his face, well.
Nick
Castle. Like a different mask, it's the same one.
Yeah, people don't account for that. Like Nick Castle, he looks like Michael Myers under the mask because the mask fits him differently.
Yeah.
And the mask is fucking filthy. I look at it like it's an all white mask. He's been rolling around on the fucking ground and shit. That. But I love the continuation. The exact same night, the story picks right up where it left off. I know there are problems with it. I know there are a lot of like grown-ass men who go, Jamie Lee Curtis is wearing a wig in that. Yeah. And that's a problem for you for some reason. Like I never noticed it. I still don't notice it. But yeah, it's just one of those, like I said, nostalgia and how much I enjoy the movie.
Oh, I get it, man.
Both ends.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact for you, Brad. The guy who plays Bud, he went to my high school. He's on my high school's wall of fame.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah, he grew up in my area.
That's Leo the guy, that's the hot tub guy.
Yeah, Leo Rossi.
Yeah. That's an awesome scene, that hot tub scene too. I mean, like I said, this is the stuff we wouldn't have if they listened to Carpenter.
Right.
That's why I like to give him such a hard time. It's like you tried to ruin Halloween 2 by making it like, I don't know, like he wanted to make it another like slow, super slow stock. Well, they fucking did all that. They did that in the first one. Now the cat's out of the bag. She knows Michael is there to kill her, And there's no point in we don't need more stalking, and it's bring on the slaughter.
Yeah,
and that's
I think Halloween 2 was exactly what it should have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they take the first story, now they've like amped it up. Now he's pissed. Now he's doing everything he can to get to Lori. So I think it was the perfect follow up. Like the one is so good just for what it is. It's just a slow, suspenseful, stalking movie. And then we get 2 and it's amped up. So yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Now I like how it's a continuation of the first movie. I thought that was pretty cool, and they made it look just like 1978, even though it was shot 3 years later.
Yeah,
that was cool continuity.
Yeah.
But the only thing I didn't like, and I guess Carpenter didn't like this too, but like what made the first one so good is that Lori and Michael were not siblings.
Yeah.
To our knowledge, the first one was just about her getting stalked by the boogeyman.
Yeah.
So I don't really like the whole brother sister aspect of it.
I don't like that because I don't really want Michael to have a motive.
Yeah.
I think what makes him so much creepier from the original is that he's just an evil motherfucker that just has no motive. He's just evil and he just kills for no reason. But 2 comes along and they made them siblings, and now they're trying to say, well, this is why Michael's after Lori, because it's his sister and he's got to kill everybody who's related to him, and that's why he's after Jamie and the other ones. It's like I don't like that they gave him a motive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's both sides of the coin. I like it both ways, but to me, for him to come back to Haddonfield after escaping from a mental institution, waiting 16 years, so now his other big-titted sister is now 17, the exact age when he murdered his other big-titted sister.
Yeah.
He sits like a vegetable for 16 years in a hospital and then wakes up to recreate the exact same murder 16 years later by sticking a knife in her. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, in a lot of ways, it only makes sense if they're related. But it doesn't have to make sense because he's the shape and he's mindless. And it's just, if you're a mindless killing machine, why didn't he kill the people at the hospital? Why didn't he kill the people in the town at the hospital? Why did he go 100 miles to Haddonfield? So it's just like, it just depends on what mood I'm in. I go back and forth on it. I'm like, well, he should be the shape, or, well, it only makes sense because he really wanted to fuck his sister when he was 6, So I just I'm all over the place with it, but I know one thing. I love the Halloween movies and I'll watch them again until I'm dead.
I watch them usually about every year.
Yeah. Yeah. We can nitpick all day, but at the end of the day, I love them all. Some more than others, but I love them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're one of the franchises that got me in the genre.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
All right, Tom, what you got for your number 4, buddy?
All right. Well, Craig knows what I'm about to show you guys.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm pretty sure out of the Scream Factory collectors and fans, I'm pretty sure I'm on an island all by myself with this movie. And I know everybody probably hated, all the Scream Factory collector edition collectors probably hated that they had to buy this movie in order to keep the collection complete.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I grew up on this movie. I rented it every single day. Garbage Pail Kids, the movie.
God damn.
This is the definition of nostalgia for me. I don't know why I loved this movie so much as a kid. Like, it was like always rented by me. I always had the VHS from the video store at home. And I was a big time collector of the cards when I was a kid. I'm an 80s kid, so I loved the cards. And when they made this movie, I was so happy and I thought it was so fun. Now, I agree, it is probably the worst movie in the entire Scream Factory catalog. It is cheesy and stupid and makes no sense, but I don't know, it's really nostalgic to me. And I mean, being a fan of the movie from a kid, I love the artwork. I love that this is like the only one that stands out. It's the only one that's green, which I'm sure annoys a lot of people's OCD and stuff. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm probably the only Scream Factory fan out there that actually loves this movie, and I always will. I don't know why. I don't, man. It's just, yeah.
I'll be honest. I bought it and I put that green son of a bitch on my shelf with all the rest of them. I've never watched it. I bought it to fill out the collection, and that's where it's at.
I
may watch it
agree.
one day, I
Like,
don't know.
there's none unless you guys like grew up like I did and loved the Garbage Pail Kids cards and all this stuff as a kid and watched it a million times as a kid. Yeah, none of you guys are going to like this movie. Obviously, if you were to put it in, and watch it, you're going to think it's the stupidest shit you've ever seen in your life. But it's more meaningful to me than even whether it's a good or a bad movie. It just means a lot to me, and I had to throw it in my top 5.
Yeah.
I can respect the nostalgia, man. I got a lot of movies like that. You know, like I can respect that.
Huge
Shit,
guilty
like most of my movies are like that. You know,
I don't even want to see the comments right now.
It just
I'm
reads
glad you pulled
Garbage
that,
Pail
man.
Kids.
That's cool.
It reads Garbage Pail Kids. Unsubscribe.
I remember when it came in, and when I ordered it, I was like, "Fuck!" When I took it out of the box, I was like, "Why do I own this movie?" And but like I said, I've never seen it, so
what's funny is that this was my first Scream Factory ever because, I bought this before I got into Scream Factory because I loved this movie and I owned the VHS and I owned the DVD, and then when I seen it was coming to Blu-ray, I bought it not even knowing what Scream Factory was. I just bought it because I wanted to have the Blu-ray, and so this was the first Scream Factory I ever owned.
Yeah, that's how it was for the Halloween box set. I was in Sam Goodies, and they had it up on the shelf marked down to $99, and I was like, "Holy shit, look at that box set!" And I just grabbed it. And then, a couple years later, I started buying Scream Factory titles, and I realized how sought after that damn thing was. I didn't even know it was a Scream Factory. I never heard of Scream Factory.
Yep, same with me.
I realized I had a kind of a gold or a holy grail, and didn't even fucking know it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so, all right, Craig, what you got for your number 4, buddy?
My dumb ass, it never occurred to me to look at the spine. I was just buying those Screen Factories going, I like those artwork on those collector's editions, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I look at I got them on the shelf at one time and I go, oh, it's the same company.
And now I'm a fucking spine fucking numbered boutique gutter whore. But yeah, I'm ruined now.
All right, my number 4. This is one that I watched as a kid, and it made a huge impact on me with my love for horror. And one of the reasons being is because I was legitimately creeped out after watching this movie. Even when I watch it as an adult, I still have an unsettling feeling, watching this movie. And that's a special movie if they can do that to you every time you watch it. It just it's timeless, it's creepy, it's gory, and it's an awesome movie, and it's Candyman.
Oh shit, yeah.
This is a movie that it only had a Blu-ray release in the UK, and it was region free, so I had to import it, a few years back.
Yep.
And there was word on Facebook going around that Tony Todd was recording, an audio commentary for a 4K scan of, Candyman. And I'm like, ooh, I wonder if it's Scream Factory. So it ended up being Arrow a week before this announcement. So Arrow announced that big box set for Candyman. I'm like, oh man, how cool would that be if it was Scream Factory that got it? But I'm like, either way, if Arrow makes it region free, I'll get it. The following week at Comic-Con, they did, when Scream Factory used to announce all those titles at the same time, this was the final announcement of the 2018 announcements. And me and Tommy went nuts. We were just so happy that it got a release. This came out in 1992. It's a Clive Barker story. He didn't direct it, but it's a story from Clive Barker. And I guess you can call it a supernatural slasher because it's almost like a
yeah.
You can call it supernatural slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Definitely a ghost of some kind.
He is, but just the hook that he uses is so cool.
His voice is so damn creepy, man.
Oh yeah.
Like a mouthful of bees, man. The mouthful of bees always gets me.
Just I was always so afraid as a kid to say his name 5 times in the mirror because that legitimately creeped me out.
Yeah.
The concept of it was just so brilliant, almost like an urban legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just so cool. For me in 1992 and 90s horror, 90s horror wasn't really that good, up until Scream came out. It wasn't really that popular until Scream came back out and revitalized it. But this, for 90s horror, this is a true gem. If you've never seen Candyman, You got to check this out. Anyone in the chat that hasn't seen this, please go watch this. And there's a 4K of this too that just came out, and it's got a slip. And then Arrow just did a 4K of it as well, right around the same time. So, Tony Todd, though, this has got to be his best performance. I mean, he's a character actor. He's in a lot of movies, but just like him as Candyman, it's just what a performance.
Oh, he was born to play that part, just like Robert Englund was born to play Freddy. He was born to play Candyman.
And it's got 2 sequels. Farewell to the Flesh, which is Scream Factory, but it's not a collector's edition. That one's okay. And then you got the garbage third one from Vestron that they just put out.
Yeah.
The flip is cool, but the movie's trash.
Yeah.
I picked it up. I haven't watched it yet. I picked it up.
I still haven't seen the reboot, which is
you haven't
the sequel of this one. I still haven't seen.
I haven't seen the reboot either. I've heard nothing but
Yeah.
shit about it, so I never went in theaters to see it. And I just haven't watched it yet.
It was good. It was good. I liked it.
But
Okay.
when you guys watched this for the first time, did it give you that unsettling feeling like, whoa? I mean, this was
Pretty
very
Hell, it still does. You know, it's really good in that aspect. That's one reason why I like it so much. You know,
We were so shocked when Scream Factory announced it because, when we found out about Arrow, it just went to the back of my mind, like that would never happen. And then all of a sudden we're like, what? Arrow just announced it. What is Scream Factory doing to announce it? And then we got the cool alternate slip, like that was awesome.
But if I were to say the better edition, I think Arrow knocked it out of the park with that box set and like everything they put in with it.
Did you buy that?
I did buy it at first, and then I'm like, you know what? I'll just be happy with the Scream Factory release. So I sold it to my buddy David. But then Arrow just released the same exact box set with a 4K disc. I thought about putting that one up, but I think they're the exact same transfer, to be honest.
Probably the same scan.
Yeah.
That's the first horror movie I ever saw. I was 6.
Whoa.
Saw it twice the same night. Yeah.
No, I don't think I could have seen that at 6.
Yeah. But it's always been a favorite of mine, man. It's killer.
Yeah, I was actually really happy when Vestron announced the third one. Just I agree it's not a good movie, but it was just the last one we needed, to have on Blu-ray. And I love the art, and Vestron's one of my favorite lines. So cool that we got that just to complete it. But yeah, I have the Scream Factory Part 2 as well, and for some reason the person I bought it from had it signed by Tony Todd. So that's kind of cool. My Part 2 copy is signed by Tony Todd.
That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
I've got it coming from the Scream Factory sale. I've heard it's not near as good as the first, but I got the third one. I got the first one.
It's definitely better than 3. That's for sure.
Yeah. I've never seen 3, and I haven't seen 2 in years. I got it up for the shelf. I hadn't watched it since I bought it, but I haven't seen that one in a long time. I don't remember much about it.
You got the original Candyman here, and then the sequels are like way down. Even though 2 is better than 3, like those sequels are so far below the original.
All right. Well, I'll go and pull on number 4 here. Now, I know we said earlier that we factor in artwork, we factor in the movie, the special features. Well, this one here, the artwork is great for me, but it's not Scream Factory artwork. So technically, in the aspect of great Scream Factory original artwork, you have none of that on this.
Yeah.
But most people, Brad probably knows what I'm talking about. This is my favorite horror movie of all times. It's the one I go to more than any other. It's the best remake, it's the best sequel, best horror sequel of any movie I've ever seen. And I'll go ahead and show what it is. That's Psycho 2. I absolutely fucking adore this movie. Anthony Perkins, he absolutely was. People always say, "Oh, he's made to play this character. He's made to play that character." He was made to play Norman Bates.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
And I know most people are going to say Psycho. And Psycho is classic. Obviously, I love Psycho, but I'm going to watch this. I'm going to step over Psycho to watch this.
Oh yeah,
me too.
I think most people would
it's such
agree
a
with
great
that.
movie, man. And from the opening fucking shot in the courthouse, and whenever he's getting released, to when he's painting the thing and he sees the curtain move where the mom is up there and he drops the paintbrush. It's shot so fucking well. It was written by Tom Holland. Tom Holland is the director for Child's Play.
Yeah.
And and this was directed by Richard Franklin. And when Richard Franklin, they originally went to make this movie, it was going to be a TV movie. And it got so many good reviews from the first screenings, they decided to go ahead and make it a feature film.
Yeah.
And it was ballsy for them to remake this movie when they first did it. And anyway, enough about the movie. This is about Scream Factory. I love the artwork. The reason why, what I've heard, the reason why they didn't make original artwork for this is for licensing reasons. They allowed them to sell the movie, but they couldn't change the artwork. So that's what I've heard. How true that is. So on this one here, you get the same artwork on the disc, and on the inside, you just get some shots from the movie. So this is definitely not going to be anything Scream Factory did to change the artwork or anything like that. I'm picking this because I love the movie. I love the Scream Factory put this out. I've watched this disc probably more than any other Scream Factory disc I have up there. And there's some great retro interviews with Anthony Perkins on here. I don't know. It's a good release. They don't have a ton of features on here. You got a commentary with screenwriter Tom Holland, Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, and director Richard Franklin. Theatrical trailer and TV spot. Nothing's going to blow you away as far as the collector's edition and special features. But as far as Scream Factory collector's editions go, this is one of my favorites. So I didn't put it at number one just because, there's some other stuff that I do like a little better as far as the artwork when you're factoring everything in. But it definitely had to be in my top 5.
Yeah.
So it's going to be number 4 for me.
Great pick, Pops. Like, they I think that movie is like at the top for a lot of like horror fans when it comes to like one of the best sequels ever. And I remember when I watched it for the first time, running through all my Scream Factories, I had never seen any of the Psycho movies, so I knew before I watched 2 and 3 that I had to watch the first one. I watched it and I liked them for a black and white 1960s movie. Like, I really enjoyed it, but God, when I stuck that sequel in, I was like, holy shit, this is a good movie.
Yeah. I didn't see the original years later after I seen this one. I was 12. This came out in 83. I would have been 12. Me and my brother was going to college a few states away, and we were visiting him, and me and him went to the movies, and we went and seen this. And I've been 12 whenever it came out. I had no idea what Psycho was. I didn't know much about horror at the time.
Yeah.
And so I just remember loving the movie. And then years later, I seen the original Psycho. And of course, my thoughts was, that was great, but that wasn't as good as the second one.
Yeah.
And I've grown to appreciate one a lot more, but I cut my teeth on this one. So maybe that's why it's my favorite. But
I think 3 is pretty decent too.
Oh yeah, 3's another Scream Factory great release. Yeah.
Yep.
I love 3. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's really good. I think I've never seen the 4th one or the remake, but I love the first 3.
A lot of people hate on the 4th one. The 4th one goes way down, but for such a fan of the franchise, I still enjoy watching it. I don't go back to it very often.
Now the 4th one, that's a TV movie, right?
Yeah, it's a TV movie.
Yeah.
4th one is.
Yeah.
But Psycho 2 being a sequel, I think it helps the movie because we already have this backstory. We know Norman. We know how fucking crazy he is and how he's trying to go straight, and it's just not fucking working out at every turn. They're handing him a butcher knife. At every turn,
right?
It's great.
And I don't give a fuck what you say. The fucking sound effect they use for that snow shovel at the very end when he clocks Mama in the back of the head, I love it. Absolutely love it. It's like the best sound effect ever. So and then you get the whistle when he goes to full crazy Norman. He's on the phone and he has his face, whatever. He finally his cheese is off his cracker. He's done. He's fucked up. It's absolute cinematic gold for me.
Yep.
Totally agree. I always think about like if we would have gotten new artwork for 2 and 3, like how fucking cool it would have been.
Yeah. And I grabbed the era release of Psycho 2 as well. And it's got different artwork. It's pretty cool. But the one when I go to watch it, I always throw this one in.
Yep.
So.
Hell yeah.
He's fucking I believe it's in the second one where he's eating peanut butter on a cracker. And he's scooping it out with a spoon. He scoops out fucking sawdust and sticks it in a dead bird and then goes right back into the peanut butter. Is that 2 or 3? It's one of those ones where it's just fucking.
I think that's 3. I think it's 3.
I was gonna say I think it's 3.
Yeah. 3 I like a lot as well. But
Jeff Fahey's great in part 3 also. I love Jeff Fahey's character.
Anthony Perkins directed the 3rd one, didn't he?
I believe
he
so.
did.
Yeah.
When the cop's in the ice machine grabbing some ice out and you have the dead hand and he's reaching right beside the blood. It's just the 3's great. 3 goes down a little bit for me, but I still love it. Different reasons.
Yep.
All right, guys, we'll get caught up on the chat. We'll move along here. Wild Things was May, Dr. Ordinary say to Holland, everybody. My first Blue Underground was Suspiria DVD.
Yeah. They've been around a long time.
and I didn't realize that until I started getting them. Because I didn't know none of these fucking companies existed until probably 2020. You know, I didn't get into this shit until early COVID. You know, I was working from home. I had a lot of spare time. I started watching Johnny's channel, and that son of a bitch, he owes me probably about $250,000. all the fucking money he's cost me in the last couple of years. But you know, I think the first videos his I watched, he was doing all the Scream Factory releases, you know, 1 through 10, you know, whatever he would do. Like each video was like whatever. Then I seen Tommy's channel, and Tommy was the first person I seen with a complete collection. And I'm sitting over here with like 12 titles, just going, "Oh, I'll never get that." And I kind of made it. While I was working from home during COVID, I was just buying shit like crazy.
Yeah.
I think I got all the collector's edition with slips in less than a year. But anyway, but Tommy was the inspiration for getting that done. I probably went back and watched that video you did probably 3 or 4 times, Tommy. Just sitting there going, okay, what do I still need? I got that one. And once I got my collection, I went back and watched it again, going, bitch, I got mine now.
That was a fun journey, man. I mean, I won't get into it. I've talked about it so many times, but yeah, just being on the hunt, tracking all those down. And you know, I'd mentioned that, like, I never really got into it because I never thought it'd be possible to get them all. Because I, you know, thought at the time there was like hundreds of them, but then that's when Craig said, well, you know, I only collect the collector edition. So then I decided to do that because it seemed easier to achieve. And you surprised everybody. Like, I can't believe that you actually got everything. Like, I did not even see that being humanly possible for me.
Well, when I finished getting all the collector's editions, you know, I started buying some of the standalones that I really wanted, you know, some of the standouts. And this is where I screwed myself. I made an Excel spreadsheet. And as soon as I make an Excel spreadsheet and I have a physical something to look at, and I start marking shit off, and once I get to the point of no return, I get, say, 40, 50% complete. I'm like, well, shit, I can get all these too, you know. And I could probably take 50 of those standalones and throw them in the fucking trash. I'm never going to watch them.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? So if I could go back to the point where I finished getting all the collector's editions, if I could go back to that point, I would say, look here, future self, you dumbass, don't get all these.
See,
you know,
that's what I did is I collected just the collector editions, and then I decided to do all the steel books too. Craig and I decided to do that, and then other than that, though, like their standalone releases, I probably have a good chunk. I probably have maybe 50 to 70 of just, you know, other release. I just kind of randomly pick those are the ones that I want.
And that's what I should have done. That's what I should have done.
Yeah.
But my completionist nature, you know, my completionist nature kind of fucked me on that deal. But
that's still.
But I got them now, so now they only put out one of those standalones maybe once a month.
Yeah,
you know, maybe so it's not, now I can just get them as they come out. It's not that big a deal. But most of the Hammer titles I don't really give that much of a shit about. I've watched some of them. I do like some of them I don't care much for. I don't know. I could go through and probably pick out 20 right now that I'd never watch if it wasn't say Scream Factory on the side.
Those Hammer titles should come with a hammer.
I mean, I've watched a couple I don't mind, but you know, they're for the most part, I could, you know, I'm not going to buy those if they weren't part of the collection. I wouldn't go out and search them down. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, got a whole sidetrack there, guys. We'll catch them on the chat real fast. Our Cobra Kai season 5 was so damn good. Chosen was MVP.
God, totally agree.
It must be great because I don't know how many times I've reached out to Craig like, hey, what about that Scream Factory stream you wanted to do? What about Friday? And Craig will go, Tommy's unavailable, Cobra Kai.
I finished it all in 2 nights. So, I love that fucking show.
Like, nobody's allowed to talk to me tonight. I'm watching this entire season.
Tommy, I could talk to you about some scenes. I love the last season. It's one of my favorites.
All
right, anyway, moving on. Dirk says H281 is the best Halloween in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
But says not one single 4K is new. It's all re-releases. Every single one. So lazy, and they're asking $40.
Not everyone. Like
he may be talking about Blue Underground. We were talking about Blue Underground.
I thought he was.
That's probably Blue Underground.
But Bob's also
do that too.
Bob's also got props with Scream Factory, so might be.
Indian Phantom says Halloween 2 is still the best in the series, in my opinion. It has everything I want in a sequel. Loomis is amazing, and the Shapes mask is scarier than hell. I agree, it's full-on slasher greatness.
Yeah.
Yep. Warlock is the man, says Dirt.
There are
Well,
some
Randall said-
things like Dick Warlock. He doesn't move as like Nick Castle is very slick, the way he ducks around corners and stuff.
Yeah.
But Dick Warlock's very visceral. And back then, if you needed a guy in a mask, you just got a stuntman, whoever was fucking available, and said, "Here, go through a window." So I think he holds his own, but Nick Castle's better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just didn't get Nick Castle back. How fucking hard could that have been?
No, I'm sure there's some interview out there explaining it, but
Yeah,
I don't think Nick Castle was an actual stunt guy. That's why.
maybe that was it. He wanted to act,
All right. Wild Wrangler said saw Halloween 2 1981 first before the original. All right, Halloween 2 is way overlooked in the franchise. Yeah, I agree, Ryan. Halloween says I'll rewatch H2 this month and look for the wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you know it's there, you know it's there. But if you don't know, you won't notice it. But like I said, if you go looking for it, you'll tell. You can tell.
When I see a woman and she walks by and she's got a big ass and big titties, the first thing I go is, man, she's got beautiful hair. Like, I don't know what fucking Buffalo Bill fucking crazy shit you guys are on. Like, staring at this woman's hair. Pretty hair. I just fucking, I don't know.
Lance Luss said the way Michael walks and looks in Halloween 2 from 1981, I'll take it as he's been shot 6 times, so he's going to be swollen and slower. It's swollen and slower. Point. That should be like on the back of my shirt right now. Swollen and slower.
Yeah. That's a good point. He did get shot. He's had a long night.
That is a good point.
Chasing fucking Laurie Strode around. I don't know.
What I don't like about Halloween 2 though is like you never really find out what happened to Homeboy, like the love interest, for the medic guy. The hell is his name in that movie?
Jimmy.
Yeah, there you go.
Jimmy, the kid.
You never really find out what happened to Jimmy. Like he tripped and hit his head or something, and then he was in the car, and then like that's it. You never really hear what happened to him. That always bugged me.
Off-screen kill. Maybe he was cut for time.
Maybe.
Any fan of Halloween 2 looks like Laurie's Hospital Nightmare to me. Leo Rossi is a great actor. He's the slimiest character in The Accused with Jodie Foster. Yeah, I was trying to think of what else he was in. That dude in The Accused. Have you ever seen The Accused?
No.
Jodie Foster and Jennifer, what's her name? Kelly McGillis. Yeah, that dude right there. He's one of the people that raped Jodie Foster in this little bar, game room, whatever. And he's a slimy bitch in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have seen that.
Yeah. If y'all haven't seen The Accused, man, y'all check it out. It's pretty solid flick.
Is there a Blu-ray of that?
I don't know. I don't own it. I got it on my Voodoo account. But it's one of those 90s, like rape mystery thrillers, whatever that they had.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty solid flick though. It's good.
I was figuring Tommy was going to go 2 questions. Is there a blue? Is there a slip?
I don't own the physical of it.
Question, if he would have said there's a blue, then I would have moved on to. All right, is there a slip? Because if there isn't, I can't buy it.
Right. That would be a great Kino title. They don't already fucking have it. But I don't know. I haven't seen it. Let's see. JS says I never saw Halloween 2 until the early 2000s. I did watch 4, 5, and 6 of the 90s, but I assumed Halloween 2 was another fake sequel like Halloween 3. Right, JS says when I did watch it, I couldn't believe I missed it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Great points, Bradley.
You got it, Bob.
All right. Gizmo said Big Titty Halloween, love 1 and 2 and the 4th. Ryan says clearly the problem is having big titty sisters.
Right? Think about it. What is he in the first one? 6 when he stabs his big titty sister?
Yeah.
She had just ran upstairs and had the world's quickest, this 2-pump chump dude, sex scene with this dude. He comes right back down the stairs. She's naked up there. He sticks her with a knife and kills her. To his warped 6-year-old murderer mind, that's sex to him, murdering her with a knife. So he wants to come back when his other sister is in full bloom and stick her with the knife too. That's the pervert angle I believe is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I can if you I agree that if you were to give Michael Myers a motive, that was a good motive. Like I have a problem with the motive. Like that definitely was a cool idea to kind of try to repeat what he did when he was 6 or whatever with his other sister. I get it, but like I don't know. At the end of the day, like I like Michael Myers more without a motive. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. But like I said, we got the cards have been dealt.
Yeah.
And that, there's different ways to interpret. Like he does the gravestone thing. He puts his sister's gravestone in the house. He kills all of Laurie Strode's friends.
Yeah.
To save her for last. It does
make
sense. It makes sense both ways.
Yeah.
But like I as I get older, the more and more I'm like I'm an old man with my mystery stories.
Yeah.
Like I want a story there for some reason. And then if you put H2O in the picture, you watch 1, 2, and H2O. You have a different, or you could watch it in multiple orders and have multiple storylines.
Yeah,
if you want. That's what's so great about it. It's what keeps people talking about it.
Craig and I
the basic point
time like 1, 2, and 7. Even though when you're looking at that timeline, 8 is still a part of it, but I hate 8 so much that I just eliminate it. Yeah. I think, my personal opinion, 1, 2, and 7 is the best way to watch Halloween. That's just my opinion.
If somebody had never seen it before and they asked me what to do, I'd say 1, 2, and 7, and then explore the others as alternates.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
like it was the perfect ending. Like, it was it's just a perfect trilogy in my opinion. Like I love them all, but that's my favorite way to watch it is 1, 2, 7.
Yeah.
The biggest point of all this is the movie came out in 1978. It started in 78. It's 2022. We're still having debates over this. Shows how great the fucking series is.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just point out we're all wearing black shirts again?
Every time.
I thought we decided, Craig, that black when you get to our size, black doesn't help to hide the fact.
That's hilarious. Matt says, I haven't watched it yet, but does anyone have any reviews on Rob Zombie's The Monsters? I'm not hearing good things. Yeah, I'll never probably watch that.
You're not hearing good things? I'm just curious. Is there anyone saying anything good about it?
I saw one YouTube video I came across. I didn't watch it, but on the thumbnail, I didn't even know who the hell he was, but the thumbnail said, I actually liked it. That's the only one I saw.
As soon as I seen the trailer, I said, okay, that's all I need to see of that. And I'm a Rob Zombie fan, but I have no interest in that at all.
I think they gave him about $800 and like 2 generations back an iPhone to shoot it. And I just think he didn't have the money to do it the way he wanted. I don't know. I like Rob Zombie too. I just don't think there's any way it's good after seeing it.
I think we've already talked too much about it. That's how much I have. I really don't care. I just don't care. Just to be honest. Anyway, it's I don't know. I haven't heard anything good about it either, man. Holiday says too much gravy on their taters, and Michael's coming home for Thanksgiving.
The Halloween franchise, it comes down to tits.
JS was guessing your Garbage Pail Kids when you started talking about it. I seen that come in when you were talking.
Oh no.
Dirk says, shaking my head, Garbage Pail Kids. Hear you, Tommy. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. It is a hell of a drug, man. But that being said, I do have stuff that I hadn't seen since I was a kid. I've rewatched now, and it's like, oh my god, that's fucking horrible. And I can't. I'm done with it.
Any and every bad comment that might come through for this movie, I will agree with everybody. I'll just say, I'm an idiot. I agree. It's stupid. It's just. I don't know, man.
But I totally respect the nostalgia factor, man. I got that same thing going on. All right, the Garbage Pail Kids cards are awesome. I used to get them all the time. I did have a few of those. I never collected them, but I remember people at school when I was like in elementary school passing them around and shit like that.
Oh god, yeah, they were fun, man. And I loved it because my sister was really, because obviously they mocked the Cabbage Patch Kids, and my sister was big into Cabbage Patch Kids at the time, so I would always like collect the cards and like make fun of her and stuff.
All right, Andy says, I still need to finish watching Garbage Pail Kids. I have sort of a fascination with totally reveled 80s movies, and the design of the kids is amazingly whack. The cards were great, in my opinion. Dirk used to collect those cards. Wild Wrangler, Garbage Pail Kids, my cousin had the cards. Our grandmother didn't like them. All I've never seen Garbage Pail Kids, so I can't persecute Tommy. Yeah, I've never seen it either. But, Dr. Ordinary says, Tommy, I'm also a child of the 80s, but I have 4 therapists that will be calling you. Joking. Totally got the nostalgia factor.
Oh, hold on. I got a call. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, Tommy, I don't know if you know or not, but that's my actual family doctor, by the way. He does those live streams with us that we've been doing.
Slash carpenter, slash bartender.
He also built my shelf behind me, by the way. He said my carpenter slash doctor, jack of all trades. One of my best friends. Gizmo says, I have the same with Howard the Duck as you have with Garbage Pail Kids. I love Howard the Duck, but everyone I know hates it.
I'm right there with you. Huge fan of Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I'm fixing on it. I'm collecting all the 101 black labels, and that's one of them. So I'm fixing to buy that bitch. I haven't seen it since the 80s.
That's another movie that if you see it today for the first time, you're going to think it's the stupidest movie ever. But yeah, I watched it as a kid, and I friggin' love it.
Yeah. Well, I'll be rewatching it soon. All right, JS says my first Scream Factory titles were Halloween 2 and 3, close to when they were released. Yeah, 2 and 3 was the first 2 collectors, right?
Yep.
I got them on the day they were released.
I got them in 2020. Our Kenny Lee 1981. Heard you were looking for Candyman, bitch.
Hits her with a fucking hay hook right in the eye.
Candyman is my favorite slasher. Oh, it's going on the list, Craig. Never seen Candyman.
Oh, yeah.
You need to
Oh,
watch that
you're in
on.
for a treat. You are in for a treat.
I wish I could say that. I wish I've never seen it. I'm going to watch it for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of movies like that. Dirk says, I remember watching Garbage Pail Kids with Return of the Living Dead Part 2 from the movie house. Let's just say I finished Return of the Living Dead Part 2.
Yeah.
Wild Wrangler, mom rented Candyman and Dr. Giggles on VHS, but Dr. Giggles is one that we need a big boutique to put it out. I know Germany has got a cool media book of it. But yeah, we need to get that. Screen Factor needs to do a collectors on Dr. Giggles. I take that.
Yeah, totally agree. It's not, I always like every time I think of Dr. Giggles, I always like get it confused with the dentist. I don't know, like, and it sounds like Vestron is finally going to be putting that one in Part 2 out for the dentist.
Okay, I haven't heard that. Let's see. Love the 2 movies. Psycho 2, better sequel. Dirk says that Candyman reboot is woker than woke. Fuck that POS, multiple Candymen. The police are all assholes, and Candyman is a superhero for the hood.
Yeah. Wes from
Thanks.
Dead Pits, that he calls it Candyman versus white people.
Yeah, pretty much.
I haven't seen it yet, but
I haven't seen it.
It's hilarious the way he describes it.
All right. India Fan says, hell yeah, Pop Psycho 2 is the movie that got me into slashers and serial killer horror. I saw it before seeing the first, and I have no regrets. I like every flick in the franchise. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I also think the Psycho 2 artwork is fantastic. The extras on that one and Psycho 2 are amazing. Shout out to Michael Felcher and Red Shirt Pictures for that bonus content. Yeah, Red Shirt, they did a lot of the special features for Screen Factor. I wish I could afford to buy them as they came out. They have gorgeous box art. It's Thimbo Cinema. I'm never seen you in here, buddy. Is that one of y'all's Tommies? That one of your subscribers?
I'm not sure who that is.
Okay. Well,
welcome.
Also, Meg Tilly in the shower. Oh my, yeah. Yeah, she ain't ugly.
She got some of that gravy there.
Yeah, she got some gravy. She got a little bit of gravy. Wild Wrangler. First time saw Psycho 2 on the Sci-Fi Channel on Mother's Day Marathon. That's awesome.
How many times I was talking to Alan before, like I went, all right, I can't go any further. You need to start explaining some of these analogies immediately.
Yeah, I'm from the deep South, and he's a fucking Yankee, so you know I gotta dumb it down a little bit with some of my sayings. All right, Bates Motel is my favorite horror TV show to this day, start to finish. Yeah, I watched all that. I really liked it.
I heard it was good.
It was. All right. Dirk says Psycho 2 is great and is more rewatchable than the original. I agree. Andy says, I was 13 when Psycho 2 came out, so close to Pop's and age and influence. Thimbo Cinema says Bates Motel explores Norman and Norma so deeply. Vera Farmiga and Freddie Highmore will always own those roles for me. Worth a watch. It's a solid show for sure.
It's a solid show, yeah.
Psycho 2 is the aliens versus the alien of the horror world for horror fans. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's a good comparison. All right, I've seen the first 2 episodes, and Bates Motel seems really great. I have to sit down and binge it all sometime. Yeah, you need to stick with it. It takes a few episodes to really get into it. But yeah, I enjoyed the show for sure. Jay says I still haven't seen Psycho 2, 3, and 4. I got to check those out. I have the 4-pack Universal Blu-ray. I think you'll like them, JS. At least 2 and 3. Hollow Note says, didn't Vera make Freddy the Godfather to her son after Bates Motel? They got Psycho close during the show.
Yeah, I don't know. Not familiar with
sure.
the backstory, but the show's pretty good.
All right, I see what you did there. Dirk said, Tommy, that's a killer background you got going, brother. A Creature from the Black Lagoon and Frankenstein monster mask.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. Jay says the earliest Blu-ray YouTuber or Bluetuber, as they were called, that covered Screen Factor that I can remember was a guy named Film Fan Pete. I don't think I ever watched his channel, but I have to look him up. I wonder if he's still around.
Fucking Bluetubers now. I mean, there's a bunch of jackasses out there. Either way, good, bad, the ugly, they're all out there.
JS says Halloween 78 is my favorite horror movie. So many iconic shots.
Yeah, the behind the scenes of that, like on that Netflix, is that Netflix show or something, or what is that?
I think it was AMC.
What was that?
Yeah, was it AMC?
Bravo, maybe, I don't remember.
It wasn't Bravo. It might have been AMC. Like I don't remember, but
yeah.
I think it might have been
Whatever
AMC.
the hell that show's called. They did like Ghostbusters and like they did like a bunch of different movies, and Halloween was one of them.
Movies that made us.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Halloween one for that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good.
Yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street was pretty good too.
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. All right, Jimmy cracked his head open.
Bummer.
JS says Jimmy couldn't do much but crack corn for the rest of the film.
Yeah, it's again part 2. He's just on his way to the lorry now. The cat's out of the bag. Anybody that gets in his way, he kills. Well, Jimmy's not a problem anymore. He's he's fucked up, so he just moves right on.
It's interesting how he goes into that old couple's house and just takes the knife but doesn't kill them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I always thought that was weird.
Yeah. Again, the whole shape thing. I don't want to go harp on this too much, but the shape thing, is he a mindless killer or not? Because there's a lot of people he lets live. You know, I don't know. It's just a strange movie where you can go all different directions with it.
Yeah, I hate the whole. I mean, I love every single Halloween movie for what they are, but the like Thorn trilogy idea, 4, 5, 6, like making him part of this cult and like where they tell him what to do and shit, and like made him like impregnate his niece or something. Like, what the hell was that all about?
Yeah, have you heard the latest theory on Halloween Ends? The latest theory on Halloween Ends is Michael is one of the robots from Halloween 3. And that's why he can't be killed, and that's why he takes a beating so well and all that shit.
Really?
And you're going, what? Exactly.
That's just a rumor. I seriously thought we were going to go that way.
True, but
I hope
if his mask was Silver Shamrock, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's a Silver Shamrock mask. There you go.
Yeah.
It all comes together. I'm like, I heard that and I went, it's so stupid. I'm sure they're doing it.
That'll finally answer the long-lasting question, everybody. Like, what the hell was Halloween 3 all about? Why was that in there? Well,
they should at least do an alternate ending for the fucking Blu-ray, for the 4K release of that. That would be fucking great.
Yeah.
That would break the fucking internet if they did that. That would break the fucking internet.
There'll just be Halloween fans sitting at home in the dark by themselves, just rethinking their whole fucking life. You know, like, what the hell have I done?
Burning their fucking Michael Myers mask, burning their shirts. They're going to rebuy them the next day.
Yeah.
All right. I think most sentiments. I think I'm the next 10 years or so, we should get an H2O edit where they fix the mask. I love that movie, but the different masks get more distracting every time.
Yeah.
All right. I love to see H2O with a different score. That score doesn't fit the Halloween vibe for me.
Yeah.
It's a 90s score. It fits the 90s.
Kevin Williamson project. So you're going to get the hip teenage angle.
Mhm.
And his Kevin Williams movies, Williamson's movies, the killer doesn't matter. They just put a mask over them, and they don't,
Yeah.
It's just a different.
Yeah.
It's a product of its time, and I still like it. I don't.
Oh yeah,
It's a Candyman. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, Candyman. Anthony said Candyman has some of the best atmosphere you'll get in a movie. Tony Todd is a legend.
Yep.
I'll just read the comments. All right, so smash that like button. We're almost caught up, guys. We've got like 4 more here. JS using woke as an insult to describe the new Candyman is exactly the kind of thing the movie is calling out. If you don't think the original Candyman was, as you say, woke, you missed the point. Film Fan Pete is long gone. Shut down his channel many years ago. Gus saying hey to Pops and everyone. What's going on, Gus? I say, hey, guys. All right, guys. I'm done. Go ahead.
Well, I'll address that woke comment. Woke is one thing. They Live is arguably one of the most woke movies ever. It's just a matter of skill and how it's done and whether it feels like you're getting it shoved down your throat or not. So that's what I'd say about the whole woke comment.
Yeah.
Black Christmas 2019 was woke. I don't know much. I don't know how much more woke you can get besides Black Christmas 2019.
Yeah. There's a difference between putting a message in a movie and then making the movie the message.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. We'll move on to our number 3
Anyway.
before we go down that rabbit hole too deep.
this is number 3. For me, this movie's not woke. But it's a newer movie. I know some people kind of poo-poo this. I don't care. It's a remake. The artwork's not the greatest, but it is good. It's the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yep.
I watched this movie pretty regularly. Again, it all came down to rewatchability, the artwork, all that stuff. But I love this movie. I love that it's the same but quite different than the original. Same concept, but they've updated it for modern times. There's a lot more action. There's a lot more fan service. If you're a fan of the zombie isolation movie, it has all those things. They do all the fun stuff you could do in an apocalypse. It's just a blast. You care about the characters, which is very important in a zombie movie. Ving Rhames is what I would think to stand out in this. I just love his character. There's just so much going on with him. That whole shit with his brother, he's a real conflicted type guy, but he wants to help, but at the same time he wants to say fuck you, you're on your own, and go deal with his own shit. But I love this movie. I rewatched it recently. I think it's one of the all-time great zombie movies, the top 5 for sure. But as far as features go, it does seem to have a lot, but it's a lot of DVD stuff. But like I said, I'll keep this short and sweet. I could talk all day about how much fun this is. I love the stuff with the gun, his gun buddy Andy across the way, and they're playing that game where,
Best part.
where they're holding up a sign with a celebrity's name, and then the Andy character has to try to find him and shoot the zombie that looks like him, Burt Reynolds, and all that stuff. They have fun with it, but it is ultra serious, and there's plenty of jeopardy and peril in it. So. A zombie baby. I think that was the first ever zombie baby. What I mean? Zack Snyder gets a ton of shit for whatever reason. People forget that he made a lot of great movies. They're remembering him for this latest zombie movie he made with Batista for whatever for some reason that ruins his back catalog. But I've always liked this one. It hit me at the right time, at the right age, and I rewatch it yearly.
Well, I went and see that one in theaters when it came out, and I was a big fan of the original Romero stuff, whatever. So I was very skeptical going into that. And I was sitting there going, damn, this is fucking good. But when they did the Burt Reynolds scene, I said, fuck it, I'm in. Threw my goddamn popcorn down, I'm in. I love this movie. And I've watched it a dozen times since then. And it's one of my favorite remakes.
Definitely up there as one of the best remakes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never been a huge zombie fan, of the zombie genre. Not a big fan of it, but that one was the first one I ever saw, ever. The first zombie movie, Dawn of the Dead, George Romero type, series or whatever. And I really liked it. It's got some really crazy ass kills in it and stuff. And I love the mall setting, of course, obviously, but it's a good one. It definitely is up there. Probably my top 3 favorite zombie movies.
Yeah, people that are big Romero fans that have problem with remakes, Romero has signed off on that movie, and he said they did a great job with it.
Yeah.
They do good fan service. You got Tom Savini in there, and
Yeah.
that other guy, I never remember his name, but both of them are in there. You know, they give love for the original. I think they did it perfect. I have no
Tastefully
complaints
done,
as far
as they
as
say.
yes. There you go.
But you get a real like like what you would really be like in in that situation. They're constantly taking inventory. They're trying to figure things out. And when they decide to leave and all the stuff that goes on with the shuttles, the chainsaw. Whose fucking idea was to get a giant running chainsaw and then swing it around inside of a fucking bus like that, close quarters? I mean, you just knew that was going to end badly. But it just, it holds up so well. I mean, insanely well. I feel.
And if you watch the movie for the first time, when the movie ends and they're showing the credits, don't leave yet. Watch the rest of the credits.
Yeah.
Because if you stay to the end of the credits, you find out what happens to all the survivors.
I mean, you think about it, a horde of super fast, active, athletic zombies chasing you. That's terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially for this stream.
Yeah, because we're all fucked. We're all fucked.
No point running.
So I'm just gonna join them. Fuck it.
Me and Craig would be chased by we'd be being chased by some zombies, and we would have to stop halfway and go.
Yeah, we'd be bent over breathing.
Well, the thing is, like, they're hoarding like supplies and stuff, and fucking Craig right over to the Reese's rack. I got this handled. No, we should get protein or something. No, you get protein. I'm good.
All right. What you got, Tommy, for your number 3, buddy?
All right. Well, I don't know why I meant to grab the Blu-ray version of this, but I still really dig the art on this one. But anyways, I knew I had to pick one of the Halloween movies from the Scream Factory catalog. And I initially was going to pick the first one because that's pretty much my favorite Halloween movie, but just going with the addition, and it's definitely one of my favorites, and the artwork is really cool. I had to go with Halloween 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the leaves, the new art for all these 4Ks, but this one's cool. This one's cool.
Yeah.
But I do think I like the Blu-ray one a little bit better when it comes to the artwork. But Halloween 3 is so cool, man. Like, I know a lot of fans have an issue with it just because it's not part of the Michael Myers story, but we all know why. They tried doing something different, and people loved Michael Myers so much that they decided to bring him back. But either way, Halloween 3 is so fun. It's so Halloween-y, if you know what I mean. It's just so fun to watch at Halloween time. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a cool story. It's definitely become a huge cult classic. And I think if this wasn't called Halloween 3, I think so many more people would like it so much more as a movie on its own. But because
give it a chance at least.
Yeah, take that Halloween 3 title and just call it Season of the Witch. I think
even Season of the Witch makes no
a little bit
sense.
better. Yeah.
Season of the Witch, that title makes no sense either. But still, yeah, it would be better if it didn't say Halloween 3.
But it's just a cool concept, and the end is just so like when he's screaming, turn it off, and it's just oh my god, my blood is just pumping at that part every time, man. But
yeah,
for anybody out there who's never really given this a true try, a true watch, forget the fact that it's called Halloween 3. Just sit down and watch it for what it is on its own, and I think you'll like the movie. It's badass. But this, I'm happy we got the 4K of this now, and this artwork's pretty cool. But again, I think I like the Blu-ray one a little bit better.
I mean, I'm glad they went back to Michael Myers, but I wish they had kept that anthology series going, and they would have maybe put out one of those every Halloween, every few years or whatever. It'd been cool to see some different stories, in that vein.
Carpenter basically did that anyway. If you just look at his other horror movies as his original ideas, vampires, all of them, he basically did it anyway. But yeah, the kills, the robot kills in that are badass.
Oh my god, crazy. Practical effects and stuff, and
brutal.
And come on, Tom Atkins, man. I mean, come on.
Tom Atkins must have one hell of a personality. That dude is like 50. He's always slamming a 20-year-old in every fucking movie.
He's like, fuck you, Michael Myers. I got that, your big titty sister hanging out in the fog.
We got to do a spoof cover of Halloween 3. Where I'm like, where do you want to sleep, Tommy? That's a dumb question, Craig.
Oh shit.
The steelbook for Halloween 3 is actually great too. Great artwork on it.
I love that. Yeah, the kid sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah.
That's something to grab most of them steelbooks. I didn't really get into those, but I was getting everything. I need to probably go back and start grabbing those steelbooks. They're all way out of print now, but
yeah, those are spendy.
Yeah. All right, Craig, what you got for your 3, buddy?
So my number 3, this is another 90s horror movie. I saw it on the Sci-Fi Channel with my parents, and I watched it with my mom and dad when I was growing up. And it's one of those movies that has a real big nostalgia factor for me. And it's a little hidden gem called Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. This came out in 1995, I believe, and this is like the breakout role for Billy Zane. He's so cool in this movie as the, I guess you call him the Collector.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Jada Pinkett, she was good in this. This was right before she did Nutty Professor. Just a fun time, like watching this movie. This is like the first movie that came after the TV show came out, so it was uncensored. It had a little bit of nudity, a lot of gore, and just an all-around great cast in this. William Sadler plays, Breaker. That's the guy's name in the movie, and he's on the run from Billy Zane, who's trying to get the key. He's trying to get the key from him.
Yeah.
It's almost like another home invasion movie where they're all trapped in that big hotel thing, and then Billy Zane just kind of summons all these demons to siege them, and it's just so cool. What a great scene from Dick Miller in this movie. He's in a lot of movies in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And just if you haven't seen Demon Knight, this is something that you just have to pop in and watch. It's fun. Every time I watch this movie, I have such a big smile on my face. Like, it just brings back so many memories, and it's just a fun ride, and it's fast paced, and I think everyone will enjoy this.
Cool effects, and it's just a fun time, man. I had a blast with that. I wasn't a super big fan of Bordello of Blood, but Demon Knight is the shit. Demon Knight is fun.
And that artwork is beautiful too. They did a great job.
Colors, I love the colors of that.
Yep, the green and the purple.
Yep.
But, I hope this gets a 4K release because this movie's very well deserving of it.
I really love that show back in the day when they came out with that movie and the Bordello of Blood. Man, I was a fan of both, mainly that one. I seen them in theaters with my first wife. I remember me and her went and seen that one. And I wish I'd have made more of them. I wish that would have continued on. But
I agree.
Now I don't know where I heard this from. Maybe I heard it from another YouTube video or something. But someone said that James Cameron loved this movie so much, which is why he cast Billy Zane in Titanic.
Really?
Like,
I heard that too.
Good job in this, and that's why he picked him for Titanic. But I'll see if Brad approves of this one. I think Brad will get a kick out of this.
I think Brad might be in a fist fight with somebody. He's doing so much broken his area is.
Brad,
I like Demon Knight.
Number 3. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of it for sure.
Yeah, it's just when I think of nostalgia, the word nostalgia, this is what comes to mind. Like,
it's a blast, man. I like the other one as well. The other Tales of the Crypt,
Bordello of Blood.
Yeah, Bordello of Blood. It's a lot of fun too.
Yep. But yeah, that's my number 3.
That's a good one for sure.
Well, my number 3 here. I had to pick it mainly because of the acting. It's got some of the best acting in each slasher movie. That's got to be Sleepaway Camp, the first one.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's got this is I think this is one of the first collector's editions I bought, if memory serves. But yeah, man, I got this one and 2 and 3 before they went crazy out of print. They were still out of print, but they weren't so hard to find at the time. You get them relatively cheap. Shortly after I got them, though, 2 and 3 especially went fucking nuts as far as cost, trying to track these down with a slip. But I got a big love for this movie. I watched it. I used to have buddies spend the night at the house back in the day, and you know, back when I was growing up, and we would always rent this and have such a good time. And if you've never seen this movie, or if you haven't seen it in a while, I'm sure most people are familiar with this scene. But there's one scene where the fucking cop pulls up. He gets out. I don't know if it was a reshoot. He shaved his mustache off. But he gets out of the fucking car, and he has a fucking electrical tape mustache. And if you pause it just at the right time, it is pure goddamn electrical tape. It's a fucking mustache. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? But I love this movie. Like I said, the acting is absolutely fucking atrocious. But it's one of those so bad it's good kind of deals. You got the fucking pervert cook. You know, I mean, his death is pretty damn horrendous. Whatever. You got the twist ending, which you know everybody knows what the ending is. I don't know, I just love the movie. I love the artwork for this. You know, this is back when they did the great artwork. I've always been a fan of that artwork there. You got the original, which is I love that too.
Yeah.
And of course, back in the day, you got all the reversibles. You know.
Yeah, back when they were a boutique label. It was awesome.
So you don't get you get a pretty good amount of special features here. You got a new commentary with Felicity Rose and Jonathan Thurston. You got original commentary from the writers, stuff like that. A short film called Judy by Jeff Hayes. A few other documentaries, shit like that. But you know, it's a great release. One of my favorites by Scream Factory. And I got a big love for this franchise. I definitely like this one the best, but I do like 2 and 3 as well. When I first got all these in, I sat down and watched all 3 of them one night back to back, whatever. And like I said, I'm a fan of all of them. The acting is bad in all 3 of them. This is a typical 80s great slasher movie. But it's a great release by Scream Factory.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun when it breaks down at the end. And, you know, I just love that when he stumbles onto the archery range, you know, just like the little things with the targets behind him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I wonder. Those are some of the Scream Factory now.
Very, very expensive right now. Those 3.
Yeah.
Flip. I wondered if the cousin knew she had a dick the whole time, because he's very defensive of her. You know, he's always sticking up for her, and you know, I wonder if he knew that she was a herm.
Yeah.
I have you guys, have you been to conventions, right?
Yeah.
I haven't. Not yet.
Brad, do you know who the Clay guy is?
The Clay guy? No.
He's just a vendor that does a lot of conventions, and he just basically makes these horror figures out of clay, and they're really cool looking. You know, I have one of Angela from the end of the movie. It's just Angela, just like with that face and standing there naked.
Look at Alan right now. His eyes are darting around like a fugitive. He's just going, what is this? Tell me more. Where does this guy got a Facebook page or something I can contact, man?
He has a website, but like
I'm medicated to that. I'm taking my medication. I'm good.
Yeah, that was first time seeing that movie for me. Yeah, pretty shocking ending. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I had no clue.
Yeah, that was
gonna pull dick out.
Yeah, it's a fun one, man. It holds up. I mean, like I said, I've watched it a gazillion times, and I can put it in there, and I still sit there and just laugh at some of the scenes. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's a good one, man.
I like the sequels too. I wish Felicity Rose would have came back, but
yeah,
I think the sequels are okay.
All right, let's get caught up here, guys. We ain't too far behind the chat here. So, JS says Film Fan Pete has been long gone, shut down his channel many years ago. That sucks. Gus says hey to Pops and everyone.
Go on, Gus.
Appreciate you being here, Gus. Hey to Gus. Worst Dia Katana 65 says worst horror movie ever is Nope. Yeah, I said this before or whatever. I need to watch it again. When I went in theaters, I fell asleep, I think, through the part where it made sense. I don't fall asleep in movies very often. If that says anything. But I fell asleep for a good chunk in the middle there, so I really can't give my true opinion on it. But when I woke up and seen the ending of it, I didn't understand exactly. It didn't really hit home because I think I missed pivotal moments. But I'm not in a big rush to rewatch what I've seen.
Craig tells me that it's got a pretty creepy scene in it.
And everybody says the part you're talking about, and I missed that. So I want to watch it again so I can say I've seen the whole movie.
Yeah,
it's weird. I fell asleep in the theater, but I fell asleep for it had to be 20 minutes.
Well, I'll be picking up the 4K. I mean, I got to get everything from Jordan Peele. So
Yeah,
I'm telling
I got
you,
all
dude,
those other
like,
stuff, so I'll grab it.
the scene that I'm talking about, you're gonna watch it and just it's gonna feel so claustrophobic and unsettling. I mean, like how I talked about before, how that scene in Signs where the alien walks by made me feel.
Yeah.
This scene in Nope made me feel the same way, if not even worse.
Okay. Well, you got my fucking interest. I love that scene from Science Man. That was
Oh,
a highlight.
that part is so quick but so creepy.
Yeah. And Joaquin Phoenix's reaction, man, just brings it home.
Oh God, yeah. Like, oh my God, yeah.
All right. I wasn't the one who called it that. I haven't seen it, but what I've heard from the Fist of Bill, he's talking about that what coming earlier. Hey, the Holland, Dawn of the Dead is a great remake. And he's saying, "What's up to Gus?" And yeah, I saw Dawn of the Dead in theaters. Fun time. Shit.
Yeah, but even has the
Burt Reynolds.
it even has the part with the the zombie horror movie lore where you have to have a nude female zombie, to distract you. Like it has everything. It has it checks all the boxes for me.
Yeah, it checks all the boxes for sure. All right, justice for Owls of Gahul.
Huh?
I'm not sure. Lost me on that one, buddy. Dirk said, "They live, we sleep. They are very woke. I'm sleepy as fuck."
Yeah.
Anthony says, "The Dawn of the Dead remake is amazing. I don't know how anyone wouldn't like it. The zombie baby birth scene is some nasty, crazy shit."
Yep.
Yeah. And it still is, but I watched it recently. It still is.
I love when Homeboy's watching it and 40-Year-Old Virgin. He's watching it up on the big screen.
Yeah. All right. Wild Wrangler says, "Love Day of the Dead, 1985." Yep. Dirk says, "Dawn of the Dead remake is definitely in the conversation for best remakes."
A lot of people say that, man. It's like it's up there as one of the top remakes, and I totally agree.
I go further than that. I just say it's one of the best zombie movies. I don't give a fuck if it's a remake or not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to find too many that are better than it, in my opinion.
Yep. This is Silver Shamrock, man. Talk about a song that gets stuck in your fucking head, man, after watching. All right. Holland says, "It's the beloved bastard child of the franchise, much like Fast and Furious 3. Talking about Season of the Witch. Wild Wrangler says, "Halloween 3 and Invasion of the Body Snatchers." Yep. Dirk says, "Season of the Witch is a banger. I hated it as a kid, but that all changed years later. I just pretend it's not a Halloween movie."
There you go.
Called
says, "Spoof covers. Tommy and Craig go straight to the factory for their cups." that would be a good one too.
They get escorted out of the Hershey plant.
Well, I mean, if we're right there, I mean, we might as well,
They have to escort us out on forklifts.
Dirk said, "Demon Knight had a great filter song. Hey man, nice shot."
Yeah. Yep.
I don't remember that song. The Sleepaway Camp is incredibly fun. JS says, "Love the Sleepaway Camp movies as a kid. I've only seen Sleepaway 1 and 2. How are the others?" I think there's only one of them. There's only 3, right?
There's only 3.
No, there's actually like I think there's like 5.
Oh shit. I've only seen the first 3.
Yeah, but 4 and 5 are like, I think they're included in that Sleepaway Camp DVD box set. But yeah, there's as far as there's definitely a 4, and I think there's a 5.
I'll go track those down. I've never seen 4 and 5. I don't think. Maybe I have. I have to go check them out. Dirk says, never forget seeing Sleepaway Camp as a kid on HBO late night. I was confused as fuck at the end.
I always remember seeing the cover. Is it part 2 that has the cover where they're carrying the backpack with like the Jason mask and the Freddy glove?
Yep.
Is that part 2?
That's 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
Return to Sleepaway Camp. I remember I was doing.
I mean, at the video store, seeing that cover, like, what is this?
I remember doing my top 10 WTF moments from horror movies. A stream I did, or a video I did a while back, and one was, of course, the ending of Sleepaway Camp. And I remember sitting there like a fucking idiot for 20 minutes trying to get a fucking eggplant emoji to go over the fucking dick, whatever, on the final scene. And I'm sitting there going, "Okay, hold on." I had to play the video, move it just right so it would cover the dick when it popped out. And so I felt like a fucking idiot watching that scene for fucking 20 minutes. A little bit of backstory there. Fucking grown 50-year-old man trying to cover up a fucking kid's dick with an eggplant. Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Somebody is like watching you from outside through the window or something. Like, what is this dude doing? This sick old man, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Eggplant emoji.
It says you got to see 3. And by the way, y'all go watch that video because nobody else fucking did. So y'all go watch that video if you get a chance. It's like I did it like 6 months ago. Hollow Note says you got to see the 3. The one they did 20 years later was horrible. JS says, all right, it's on the list. Brian showed off something he got from Clay Guy. His website is fucking horrendous.
Yeah, he's got a human centipede, like from part 1, the actual human centipede.
Yeah.
That every time I try to get it from he's always like out of them, you know. But like I got the doctor from part 1 and I got Martin from part 2, but like I've been trying to get that damn centipede, but he's always out.
This is what I'm talking about, Alan. This is why you should stay away from conventions, because it's fucking table after table of shit like this. I'm sure he's got a Quint from Jaws and all kinds of shit you would have to have.
You would spend
I'm sure it's
so
going to
much
hurt the wallet. It's going to hurt the wallet for sure. I was going to try to go this October. They got one down there close to where Brian Goes Blue lives. But I probably won't be able to make that one until May of next year. But they do it twice a year down there.
I'll be going to Days of the Dead Chicago next month with my brother.
Nice. All right, Dirk says, I watched Nope twice. I really must have seen a different movie than everyone else. I like Get Out and Us, but Nope is a Nope for me. Jay says, Land of the Dead was such a disappointment after seeing the Dawn remake. I was amped to see Romero make his return.
I thought Land was okay.
Land,
I didn't mind Land. That's the one that has the big black zombie, right? The big black dude.
Yeah, the black guy that works at the gas station.
I like that, man. I like that one. It was all right.
I like it.
And then it has that one dude in it. What's his name?
Dennis Hopper?
No, the
John Leguizamo?
Yeah.
I didn't mind that one, man. It was all right.
I like
my favorite, but
I love when the zombie movie, like, it's only happened a few times, but when they start to get things back together, like in 28 Weeks Later, where, you know, that starts to get back together and then the zombies come back again. I love that dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a whole nother topic that we could talk about, but I think Days of the Dead is like my favorite. With what's his name?
You mean Day of the Dead?
What the hell did I just say?
You said Days of the Dead.
Because I'm thinking of Days of the Dead. I was just talking about the convention. Yeah, Day of the Dead is definitely my favorite. I think.
There probably is a Days of the Dead. That's why I wanted to clarify. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Day of the Dead with Bub or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dick Katana 65. So that dude in Sleepaway Camp who did the body double for the girl with the dick killed himself in real life. Well, that sucks.
Was that really a little boy that filmed that scene?
No, it was like a college student or something.
Oh,
once everybody saw his little dick, he killed himself. Is that what the urban legend is?
Poor guy.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Sucks. Brian says, Holland, our Cropsy figure from the burning is so cool. That's what it was. I was trying to remember what Brian got. I remember him getting something. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yes,
I've been Cropsy from the burning.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat, look for an unboxing or video from Pop's Movie Dungeon. All the Clay guys work from the next convention.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some damage when I go. I'm gonna try to hold it down, man, because that's like a crackhead going to the crack house.
The movies are the least of your worries, dude. I mean, it's all.
It would be so fun for all of us to meet up and go to a convention together.
Well, I'm going to Monster Mania. I'll be there when you're there next year.
No shit. Yeah. All right, Pops. There you go. You got to be there too.
Alan?
Y'all motherfuckers are a long way from me, man. I'm down here deep in the south. That'd be a plane ride.
I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump up to fucking New Jersey from here.
That's shit, dude. That's a 20-hour road trip for me when I go see Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, there it is. What's up, Brian? Oh, there he is. What's up, Brian? Brian, how you doing, man? Demon Knight is an underrated collector's edition. Yep. Not many people talk about it. I'm glad Craig pulled it. Anthony says, yo, to Brian, Land of the Dead is a fucking blast.
Yeah.
All right, Land didn't hold up to the Dawn remake, though. It came out 2 years later.
Well, I mean, varying.
I agree Dawn is better than Land, but
Dawn's definitely better but it's still Land. I think it's underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
Brian said, hey, Holland and Anthony, 4K Lowdown, what's going on, man? What's up, guys? Just got home from babysitting my grandson. That's cool.
Cool.
Hey, the 4K Lowdown. Bucket list for me is any damn horror convention. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm dying to go to one. Brad said Little Dick Suicide.
No, I mean that's what I thought. I mean, I don't know. Fuck.
There's a shirt for you, Brad. Be minute to wear that bitch around. All right, Brian says the movie prices suck at conventions. Just wait on that. Conventions are better for autographs and collectibles. Yeah.
Honestly, I tend to get pretty good deals on Vinegar Syndrome and Arrow titles and shit when I go to conventions.
Well, I won't go into the whole thing, but the conventions that I went to, I went for movies. So I went there. I was the only one dressed in normal street clothes. But anyway, I went there. The best deals I got were from the Severn table. They were really like, pick out the towers you want, and we'll come up with a price. And they'll be like, all right, how about 100 for the stack? And I'll go, I don't know, how about 70? Or like, they'll go 80. And then, they go, move on. But Vinegar Syndrome was like, take it or fucking leave it. And Synapse was like, don't even ask, so.
They usually would do like a 3 for like 50.
60 now. And now it's 3 for 60. But.
And sometimes you tend to get like stuff early. Like, what was it? I picked up that Severn 4K for, what was that 4K we got recently?
Oh.
One of their 4Ks. I'm not going to.
I'm sure I can think of it, but
it was one of the recent 4Ks that they did.
Was it Faceless?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they released. You got to buy Faceless on 4K from the convention I went to.
Yeah, you were at Texas Frightmare when you bought that, weren't you?
Yeah, Texas Frightmare.
That's where Dirk picked that up for me and sent it to me from Texas Frightmare. Yeah, that was early. The one with the big titty broad was there too, and a few others.
I think they had the blue one. Yeah, with the Dennis Hopper movie.
Yeah, Out of the Blue.
Out of the Blue, yeah. So that's cool because you can tend to get early at conventions.
Yeah.
All right. Holland, hey, 4K lowdown. Maybe that's how Halloween does end. A little dick suicide.
Anything would be better than the robot angle.
All right, Brian says, I love how Land of the Dead, even after the Dawn remake, had the iconic slower zombies. The makeup effects are top notch, and it's fun seeing Dennis Hopper and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper is great in Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
I love how fucking slimy he is, and he's just like killing human beings. He doesn't care. He's like, he kills that one guy and then realizes he didn't have to do it. And he's like, well, I wouldn't have done that otherwise, but okay. Moving on.
He's awesome in Texas Chainsaw too.
Yeah, he is. All right, man. What you got for number 2 there, Brad?
Well, this was right up there. Number 3 and number 2, I was going back and forth. Like a 5-year-old trying to hold it to go instead of going to the bathroom on himself. This was tough, but the artwork is so much better on this one, and I do like the movie a little more. Day of the Dead.
Hell yeah.
That is quintessential Scream Factory artwork. I love that artwork.
Don't you mean Days of the Dead?
Days of the Dead. Yep. Days of the Dead. This is everything you want in a zombie movie. They have this fortress underground. The zombies can't get in. I mean, it's their backs against the wall. They're trying to figure things out. I always forget the guy's name.
Bub.
Not Bub the zombie. The guy that's the antagonist. The guy that's in charge of the military force that's there.
Yeah. He's like a badass.
Fucking awesome in this. He's at 11 the whole movie. I'm running this fucking funny farm. And then when he finally gets it, choke on it. Everything that he does is awesome. And then of course you have a zombie with a gun, Bub, a smart zombie. Just this movie's a blast. Again, I'm not going to gush about it, but the location they used, the way it was done, it's a
Rhodes.
Romero.
Yeah, Rhodes is the guy's name.
Oh my God.
That's it.
I realize you don't have a slip on that.
I do not have a slip. This is the first non-slip on the stream.
Does it actually play in the player?
Yeah, it does play, believe it or not, flawlessly.
Yeah, he has a VHS player it plays on.
Tony, if you're in the chat, please hook me up if you've got a second one. But I think the slip's pretty hard to get on this one. But
it is.
That was one of I asked for a little bit to get that slip when I got that one.
But man, this is it holds up so well. It's so much fun. I mean, look at all this crazy shit that's going on in this fucking slip.
God,
it's one of the best ones I've ever done, man.
And then they have the zombies that they're like at the mine shaft below, and you just know they're gonna get overrun and it's gonna be crazy. But the big standout is the Rhodes death. when he just literally gets ripped apart and the choke on it bit. And he's such an asshole the whole time. You can't wait for him to die. But anyway,
he's even a badass asshole while he's dying too.
While he's fucking dying, he's still going fuck you. So it's awesome. Definitely pick this one up if you haven't got it. It's pretty cheap during the sale right now. So
if
might
you
be doing a 4K.
Very cheap.
Yeah.
It's that one, I have to say, almost made it into my top 5. I think it ended up being like 6 or 7 for me. It's definitely my all-time favorite zombie movie ever. And it was probably my second favorite blind watch behind They Live.
Yeah, I actually like it better than Dawn of the Dead, which is, I know a lot of people, that's sacrilege, but I think it's way more fun than Dawn of the Dead, where you're basically trying to stay awake the whole time watching it.
And Tommy, I'm with you. It landed about 6 or 7 for me. It just missed my top 5.
Yeah, I was going back and forth between that one and They Live. Like I was going back and forth. They Live ended up taking it, but yeah, great zombie movie. I love Bub. He's just so fucking cool in that movie.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah,
Brad, no slip on that movie is the equivalent of a sugarless Reese's.
Yeah.
Or a size 12 without a folding stock.
You get too many of those, it gives you the shits, just like the sugarless Reese's do.
I have several without slips from Scream Factory. But I'm cheap. I'm a cheap ass, so I wait for them to go on sale and then I buy them, and sometimes I even throw the slip away.
Okay, Pops, you need to
Alan's going, how do I fucking delete you from everything?
He's gone.
Dude, sometimes these newer slips, they irritate me, dude. Sometimes these new ones, I've never thrown away a legit collector's edition slip, but
if I ever were to throw away a slip, it would be Big Trouble in Little China. Just because it doesn't say
because it'll have the collector's edition on it.
You're not going to put that in there. It doesn't say collector's edition on it.
Sleepy.
Sleepy.
So from here on, and this is the part of the show where we just scoot everybody over and we just watch old spoof cover videos.
I'm done with it. That's what we need to do. We need to do that. They can do a commentary. We do a live commentary of their fucking spoofs.
Yeah.
That'd be fun as hell.
I did keto for a little bit, but none of your Reese's, none of them.
Well, can I get you anything? I'd love some cups. Who the fuck goes to somebody else's house and asks for Reese's?
Craig, I'm gonna call you out. When we first got on here, Craig was eating a fucking taquito. He said it's got keto in the name.
Well, then it's keto approved.
All right, Tommy, what you got, buddy?
All right. For my number 2, can't stop coughing. I need to have another cigarette. No,
like weightlifting for your lungs.
right. So I had to pick this as number 2. It's one of my all-time favorite horror movies, and when I seen it for the first time, I think it came out in 2001 or something, but when I saw it for the first time, it was like it was a movie that scared, like one of the first movies in a really long time that actually scared the shit out of me when I first seen it. But I love the artwork on this, and it's a cool release, lots of good special features. I had to put it at number 2, and that's fucking Jeepers Creepers.
Oh yeah.
Like, this movie is just so cool. It's just so weird, and I just love how mysterious the creeper is. You don't know why he does this shit, and I don't know, like, obviously not a fan of the third one, and not even looking forward to the new one, but 1 and 2 are pretty solid. 1 is awesome, and the scene where they drive past him and he's like dumping the bodies and he turns and sees them. I mean, that part is just so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, this is definitely one of my top favorites, one of my favorite horror movies, and I love the artwork. Yeah, I had to throw this as number 2.
Tommy, let me ask you a question. Your theory on the creeper, is that little spider thing on his head, is that the actual creeper? A lot of people are saying like that's a parasite and it like takes the form of its victims, like you know what I mean, like how it's pulling it pulls the one guy's head and then it becomes a new creeper's head. Like, I don't know. Is that little thing on the head? Is that the creeper itself?
See, that's the thing though. They never explained it. And when they were making part 3, like the first idea that they had for part 3 was supposed to continue from where 2 ended. And Trisha was going to come back and everything, but they were going to give a huge origin story to the creeper. And I'm sure they would have explained that. Like they were going to, supposedly he's from the 1800s. That's why he dresses like almost like a cowboy in a way. Mm-hmm. And they were going to explore his origin and why he is the way he is. But that is what somebody came up with that idea a long time ago, and it makes sense. You know, it makes a lot of sense that's why he is what he is. And I believe that could work as a cool storyline. But yeah, that's the thing. What I love about the creeper though, they've never really explained why he is the way he is and what he is and shit like that. But yeah, I believe that would make for a cool origin.
Because like in the second one, when he had the thing through his head and he has to he takes his own head off and that little spider thing goes, it just like goes down for a second.
Yeah. It's so weird, gross and creepy. And yeah, that must be, I mean, like I'm saying, like they've never explained the story and it's just weird. Like, what is he? Like, what is it? You know, because obviously he's not really a man. He's disguised that way, you know, but obviously he's some form of alien creature, monster or something.
I think he gets new parts. That's why he's able to live so long. He keeps getting new organs or he needs new eyes or whatever it is. And
whatever he needs, he just gets from his victims. And that's what I'm saying. It's a cool storyline. Like, obviously, you know, everybody talks about Victor Salva and how fucked up he is. But with him aside, man, I think the movies are great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll buy it just to have every movie. But oh my God, man, as much as I knew it would, this new one is getting such bad reviews.
Yeah, I've never seen 3. I love 1 and 2. I've never seen 3, and I've heard 4 was, like you said, atrocious, man. I've heard nothing good about it.
3 is a stupid midquel that makes no sense. Like, it's in between 1 and 2.
Okay.
And it's just so unnecessary and so many unanswered questions, and it's really bad. It's just bad. But 1 and 2, I love them.
Nice. That's a good pick, man.
Hell
Craig,
yeah.
what you got for 2, man?
So my number 2, it's a repeat from one of you guys in this chat already. It's our first repeat. It was a tough decision to pick one from this franchise. I was talking to Tommy about this earlier, and my number 2 is Halloween 3. Look at that original artwork that they did.
Yeah.
The second release, it came out at the same time with Halloween 2, so this is considered number 2 in the catalog. The artwork itself is what drew me in.
Yep.
Just so cool. I remember I was one of those guys that hated part 3. I'll admit it. I was like, as a kid, I watched part 3 and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this isn't. It just had nothing to do with Michael, and I couldn't get into it just because it wasn't a slasher, and I didn't really appreciate it for what it was. And then when it got released by Scream Factory, I'm like, you know what? I got to get the entire franchise on Blu-ray. Let me give it another shot and just watch it. And I watched it coming from watching it at 7 years old, then to watching it in my 20s. I'm like, you know what? Like, this is actually pretty creative. I kind of like what they're doing with this.
Yeah.
And watched it all the way through, and then I just had that big turnaround moment. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that was really good. And then it's gotten better to me on multiple rewatches. Like, I love and appreciate the movie for what it is. As Tommy said, it's got that Halloweeny feel, right?
Yep.
And just the soundtrack, just the music that John Carpenter and Alan Howarth did together. The soundtrack's awesome. And Tom Atkins, he did a really good job in that movie. And I like how they show what's that girl's name who plays Annie in the first movie? What's that actress's name?
Her name is Nancy Loomis.
Nancy Loomis, right? She plays another character in Halloween 3. She plays Dr. Chalice's ex-wife. And it's only, 4 years from 1978? It looks like she aged 20 years.
Yeah.
She looks like an old lady in that.
It was funny when I went to Texas Frightmare back in 2016. They had a Halloween 2 reunion, and all the characters she was there because she's got the intro scene where they show her dead body. I don't know, whatever, but all the actors from that movie like still look pretty decent, pretty young. All the the nurses and stuff. But for some reason, man, Nancy Loomis looked like she was 100 when I met her. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like holy shit.
The one scene in Halloween 3 that stuck with me on the rewatch was the part where the kid puts the mask on and you see the mask actually do the thing to him and turns into that pile of bugs and snakes, and the dad starts freaking out and the mom passes out and the snake just like kills the dad. The snake bites the dad and kills him. Like,
Yeah.
And another scene where the Marge is like, she's picking at that chip that falls off the mask. She's picking at it, and that laser beam hits her in the face. Her face is like formed, and the spider crawls out of her mouth. I'm like, ew.
Yeah, like, and most of that was pretty much all practical effects, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did a lot of.
And I think that lady that in that scene was the director's wife. I think
Tommy Wallace's
wife or ex-wife maybe, wife or ex-wife. Yeah.
But even just Dan O'Hurley, is that how you say his name? Dan O'Hurley, who plays Conal Cochran.
Yeah.
I mean, what a good villain that was. Like, what a good
creepy bitch. His line "Happy Halloween" is just he delivers that shit so well.
Oh my, the monologue he does.
Yeah.
Tom Atkins explaining how this witchcraft is gonna, what it's gonna do to the children on Halloween, and you can hear the original score from Halloween in the background because it's on TV in the movie. And that score just fits so well with his monologue. What a great scene that is.
I've been meaning to pick up those 3 masks from Trick or Treat Studios for so long.
You know what I never realized? So like obviously with the theme of 3, it's got 3 masks.
Yeah.
But the colors of the mask, white, green, and orange, it's Irish colors.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if they did it on purpose, because
Lucky Shamrock. Yeah.
But
I
never noticed that.
I love it how we get a cameo of those the kids wearing the 3 masks in the new Halloween movie.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was nice how they did that.
But I'm telling you, man, like I'll say it over and over, you have to watch that movie on its own merit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't watch it thinking it's a Halloween movie. Just take that damn title off and watch it. And it's one of the best horror films coming out of the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
This is that Steelbook, by the way.
Love it.
That's great artwork.
Really good artwork on that.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, the Halloween 2 one's pretty badass too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool. You get Dick Warlock in Halloween 3 too.
Yeah, he's one of the robots.
Yeah.
And that's my porn name, by the way.
Yeah, you stole that from me.
Did I?
My name.
Maybe that's why I heard of it. hope you don't have a copyright. Don't fucking sue me. All right, my number 2. This is how, in my mind, I wish all the collector's editions were put out like this one right here. This is one of my favorite packages they've ever done, and that's going to be Creepshow.
Oh yeah.
You got the hard box side loader.
Yep.
I mean, come on, man. That's what a fucking collector's edition should be right there. Even though it don't say fucking collector's edition on the front of it.
It's another one of those things that when they first showed the first picture of it, when they announced it, it said collector edition on it on the picture.
Yeah, and I don't get into the books and shit like that much, but this book here is one of the better ones if you're into that kind of shit. It's got a lot of good shit about Romero and just the making of the movie, Thomas Savini, shit like that. But and there's the artwork on the case.
Love it.
This is definitely one of the best releases as far as packaging goes they've ever put out, I think.
Yeah.
You got the original poster on that side, and then you got that on the other side. Both are fucking great. But this came out in 1982. In my mind, is still the best anthology movie ever made, in my opinion.
Hands down.
Directed by Romero, written by fucking Stephen King. Stephen King's, and I think the second story, the Meteor one. Meteor shit. He's a terrible fucking actor, but it's such a cool fucking. The very end when he's a full fucking plant, whatever, and he. Spoiler alert! He blows his fucking head off, man. It's hardcore. It's really just it's really fucking disturbing. I love the scene I love the story with the crate. The one with the fucking roaches, I almost can't fucking watch.
My favorite is the Ted Danson, Leslie Nielsen.
That right there is real fucking scary because that would to me would be the worst fucking way to die.
Oh
Without
God,
a fucking doubt. You know, and seeing Leslie Nielsen after only knowing him from The Naked Gun and Airplane and shit, whatever, it was so weird seeing him in that role. That's the first time I ever seen him in anything other than hardcore comedy. You know, slapsticky shit.
When I think of Creep Show, I think of that particular one, the Ted Danson, Leslie Nielsen one. That's my favorite.
Yeah. But man, I could go on for a fucking hour about this movie, man. But I wish that all their collector's editions, and when they came out with that fucking Elvira and shit, whatever like this, I was hoping that they were going to continue to do that. And I feel like they should have done all the collector's editions like this. You know, I
agree. I agree because Scream Factory doesn't have very high quality slipcovers.
Yeah, but this one is. This is a Arrow quality release.
Yep.
If you want to say that, it's badass.
Speaking of anthology films, Body Bags almost made it into my top 5 too.
Yeah,
I don't know if everybody has seen that or not, but
I have.
That's great.
First time I seen it was when I got the collector's edition, and I loved it.
Yeah, me too. I love the cover. I love the artwork and the gas station one. I wish they would have made a whole movie out of the gas station one.
Yeah, and you could tell John Carpenter was having a fucking ball playing the mortician guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a fun one. But y'all haven't seen that one, go check it out.
Yeah, I love Creep Show, man. It's just classic shit there.
Anybody notice that Alan couldn't pick that up without knocking on the box? Just immediately.
I do the same thing, Alan.
I mean, how else can you let everybody fucking know that, you know, it's a fucking hard box? I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't really.
Scream Factory, Tales from the Dark Side was one I wanted to mention when he was talking about it. I like that one as well. The anthology, the Black Cat and all that. But of the two Creep Show movies, what's your favorite story? If you had to pick one out of the two movies, what's your favorite story?
Oh, it's The Raft from part 2.
The Raft. Absolutely. The Raft.
So that's three rafts.
It's The Raft. It's The Raft.
Well, you guys are going to kill me. I've never seen Creep Show 2.
You need to fix that. You need to watch that, man. You would like it. Oh, Brad, did you know that the first story in Creep Show 2, Old Chief Woodenhead, the guy that comes in, the Native American that comes in with the long hair and he's kind of the bad guy, whatever, that actor is the actor for Mindhunters.
When he was very young. Yeah.
So while I was watching that show, I looked up what else he played in, and I seen he was in Creep Show 2. I said, what the fuck was he in Creep Show 2? And I never would have picked him being that character. You know, for one, he's not Native American.
He's the Beast from Shot Caller as well. But
yeah.
But if I had to pick a favorite anthology story across all anthology movies, man, I don't know why, but I'm a sucker for the Black Cat from the Tales from the Dark Side.
Never seen Tales from the Dark Side.
I love that story.
Creep Show 3.
Could be considered a Creep Show 3.
Why do they call it Tales from the Dark Side, the movie? Was it a show?
I don't know that, but
I haven't seen that so fucking long. I need to rewatch that. I don't remember much about it. But
yeah, that was a interesting collector edition announcement. Like I'd never even really heard of it.
Yeah, it's super 90s kid nostalgia, I guess. But the Black Cat, it's about a hitman attired to kill a black cat in a like a spooky old house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the hitman the whole time was like, what? And obviously he finds out why.
Didn't you say it's more of a kid-based show though, or a movie? I mean,
I don't know, man. It's pretty it's graphic. I mean, it's not kids based, but I'm pretty sure it's R.
For some reason, I was under the impression that it was like a Goosebumps thing. I don't know why.
No, it's that the Black Cat I know it's graphic.
Okay. Yeah, I got
to the chat real fast, then we'll move on to our number ones here. I know I didn't want to keep Craig up too late. I know he has some grown up homework to do, some real life shit to do.
Grad school.
All right. Yeah, I'm the world's oldest living freshman. So I started having fucking kids when I was 20, so I'm still a freshman in my junior college. But I'm about to retire from my fucking job, so I don't give a fuck at this point. It all worked out. I knew people that got me my foot in the door, so I learned on the job. But yeah, congrats, man. Hope it all goes good for you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
If I could go back, man, I'd be where you're at right now. I promise you.
I'm on my last class. I got 3 weeks left.
Yeah. I could have made a whole lot more money in my field if I'd have done that. That's for sure.
Craig's gonna get
think,
hit by
think
a
all
bus.
how many more movies you could have bought.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'd just pissed it away, so it don't matter.
Craig's gonna get hit by a bus next week, and he's gonna be laying there 2 weeks to retirement. It's like one of the old cop movies.
Yeah.
2 weeks to graduation.
I'm too fat for this shit.
Hell of a lot fat in here, kid.
All right. Digatana 65 said, you guys ever see those stupid Day of the Dead wannabe movies?
Can't think of any.
Oh yeah, there's like Bloodline or something.
You know, the Day of the Dead 2 and 3, and what's that word? Conagium? I don't know.
Oh.
I'm the reason IMDb took down the comment section to the movies because I wrote a nasty letter to the producer, Jim Duddleson. Wild Wrangler says, zombie with no jaw opening, Day of the Dead. Brian Blue says, it is sick that I like when you can hear Rhodes getting his vocal cords ripped apart while he's screaming, being eaten alive by the dead.
Yep. The Thing has that same effect from 82.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine, like, if that was real and you're being eaten alive? Like, can you imagine how horrible that would be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucker better break appetite.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gristle there.
Shit, dude. If we were all
Gotta
together,
get through all that gristle to get to the good stuff.
if we were all together being chased by a bunch of zombies, they would all attack me, and then they'd be full when they're done.
Yeah. Craig made the ultimate sacrifice. I've been singing that Creed song over and over again. I know why now.
All right. And Creepshow 3, laugh out loud, they bought the rights to both Creepshow and Day of the Dead, the Dulcin brothers. Hollow Notes, no, Brian, you're not sick.
Yeah,
A little sick, but that's why we like it. Hollow Note says, Garbage Pail Kid Lover versus Slip Destroyer. Like a damn monster movie. Anthony's Horror and More, The Walking Dead owes everything to Days of the Dead, some of the best gore effects that Tom Savini has ever done.
Yeah.
Dirk said, Day of the Dead is better than Romero's Yawn of the Dead. And Romero even said it's his favorite of the Dead films.
I can't argue with the man.
Yep.
Go say hey to Brian. Jay says, there's a classic Bluetuber video you guys got to check out. It's called What the Fuck Ramp, DVD, Blu-ray slipcovers. He takes a stack to the fire pit.
Oh my God. I can't.
Triggered or offended. I don't know.
I could never watch that.
Beating you. Jay says, I've been watching these damn vids for 10 plus years. And he says, Romero was actually supposed to get a bigger budget for Days of the Dead, but the studio said, cut the gore or we cut your budget. So Romero said, cut the budget because I'm keeping all the gore.
Yeah, that was something I was going to say. Like, that is one gory-ass movie, man.
Yeah. Wild Wrangler said, Brian and Doc and Pops, okay, for after hurricanes. Yeah, man. Brian got the worst of that. I got nothing. It was sun shining, not a drop of fucking rain. It went right around where I'm at. We had no effects at all from it. But,
God, I didn't even think about that. You're in Florida, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes from the Georgia line. I'm like north central Florida, and it literally just curveballed around us. We didn't get a drop of rain from any of it.
We wouldn't want anything happen to your movies.
Yeah, well, Brian, man, he got all his movies, like raised them up and put them on counters and all that kind of stuff, man. But luckily, I think he ended up okay.
Good.
But yeah, Brian was a lot more danger than I was in. But I think everybody did okay.
Good.
Holland said JC3 and Reborn, light those on fire. Brian said, yeah, I'm fine after the hurricane. Yep. Yeah, they kept checking in with me to make sure they were still above water. JS says the hurricane couldn't penetrate the box sets.
Not those hardcover ones.
Dirk said Jeepers Creepers is crazy good, and I agree. When he's dumping the bodies is the creepiest scene in the entire film.
You know, when he's smelling the clothes, and he obviously likes what he smelled, you know, like that's creepy too. But yeah, it's got lots of badass imagery in Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Like you see him staring at them driving by, and then the next scene they take off, and then you look back and he's in the truck coming after them. It's just like, oh my God. Oh, hey, I slept with the light on that night after seeing the movie. I was 19 and I slept with the light on that night.
All All right, Dia Katana 65. That new Jeepers Creepers reboot looks so shitty.
God, it does.
I love the final girl or sister character in Jeepers Creepers 2. I don't recall her from anything else. Great movies. I joke, but I'm glad you guys are clear from the hurricane damage. Pops Movie Dungeon and Brian Goes Blue. Appreciate it, man. Anthony says that scene in Jeepers Creepers where you see the Creepers truck in the rearview mirror quickly approaching them really ramps up the suspense.
Oh my God, I know. He's just getting like that other car like turns off, and then you see him way in the distance, and he's just getting closer and closer and closer. It's just like, holy shit.
Michael is in H3 in the bar. Tom tells them to the TV off. Tells them to turn the TV off. Yeah. Dirk says Season of the Witch. Love, hell yeah, Craig. It was the same with Friday the 13th Part 5. Hated both as a kid, but learned how great both of those sequels are.
I love Part 5.
Yeah. Also, Nightmare 2, good. I love Part 2, Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember when I went and seen that in theaters, man. The theater was sold out, and we had to buy tickets. This is way back before we had reserved seats. You know, I remember sitting like in the first row in the fucking corner, and people were hollering and screaming so fucking loud you couldn't hear nothing on the fucking screen. So I had to go back and see it the second time so I could actually know what the fuck was going on. Yeah. That was a fun theater experience because you had people hollering and screaming and throwing popcorn. It was such a big event when Part 2 came out.
I wish a lot of those like awesome 80s slasher movies like Jason, Freddy, all that shit. I wish I could have seen that shit in the theater back in the day. I never did. Never. I was too young.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. And the first one I remember seeing in theaters was, I don't remember which one came first, if it was Poltergeist or if it was the first Friday movie I seen was Part 3 in 3D. Both of those scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And but my older brother took me to see both of those. I don't remember which one came out first, but both of those were pretty fucking petrifying. But they're the reason why, you know, I like horror movies now so much.
Yep.
So that's why I kind of have a love for them. All right. Brian says our first watch for October was Child's Play 3 tonight. Dick Warlock is a stunt coordinator on it.
Huh,
yeah, I guess I need to watch a fucking horror movie tonight. I'm not doing 31 Days of Halloween, but I did that last year. It was a pain in my ass. India Phantom says, I really think Halloween 3 is a seasonal classic. Just talking about it now makes me want to rewatch. I have that Beauty of a Steelbook.
It'll awesome. I watch it every October, man. If I don't watch all the Halloween movies, I always at least watch 1 and 3. Always.
Yeah. All right. Indy Phantom says Creep Show is a masterpiece. Saw it when I was 13 at summer camp. That changed my life because we wore it out in the backwoods at a camp that was just like the one in Sleepaway Camp and the counselors. Hooked us up with horror flicks at least twice a week. And he said, I love Tom Atkins' character in H3. He's slapping nurses' ass and banging robot chicks. Tom is the fucking man. All right, Indy says, so needless to say, camp and slashers are nostalgic as hell to me. Yep. They go hand in hand. Dirk says, Creepshow is such a nostalgia-heavy film for me. I watched that shit so much as a kid. 2 is okay, but the OG is the banger. This should have been called the nostalgia stream. Yeah. That would have fit. All right, Brian says, the pop snock is embedded into his brain, Brad. Yeah.
Alan did a collection update one day, and he had like a whole bunch of Arrow titles. All the boxes. He knocked on every fucking box. And it was like 10 of them or some shit every time.
Knock, knock, knocking on Pop's boxes.
Paul Randall said, tell us the Dark Side TV show Romero worked on it. Dirk said, the Tasmanian Devil story is my favorite of them all. That's on Twilight Zone, ain't it? Twilight Zone the movie? No, I'm thinking about the Tasmanian scene, that boy that could wish anything. And the Twilight Zone movie. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. The Tasmanian Devil, he's talking about the crate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's a pretty hardcore. That what's that puppet's name? Fluffy, the Tom Savini made for the crate.
Fluffy. Yep.
Yeah, that is a good one. Adriana Barbeau is a major bitch in that one. There you go, Fluffy right there. Fish, what's going on, man? Hey, Pops, how's everyone doing? Doing good, man.
Doing good, man. Having a good time. Who doesn't love talking about Scream Factory?
Exactly. We got to talk about our favorite right now. Who's your number one there, Brad?
Man. This should be good. Man. I know.
I'm wondering if we got any of the same ones.
It's not going to be good. I can say already. Recency bias. I don't know what it is. It's a Toby Hooper movie. I was one of those people that didn't know Toby Hooper did much, but I've loved this movie. Every time I see it, I like it more. I know people don't fucking like it. I get it. But
No, quick, Pops, boot him, quick.
Oh, thank
the
God.
Funhouse.
Okay.
Okay, I
That fucking clown is awesome, dude. That clown's the best part of the movie.
Yep, the clown is so good in this. This movie is I was not going to say Life Force, by the way. I tried to.
Yeah,
You said Toby Hooper. I got scared for a second.
I got scared too.
I don't like.
I could
I
have
don't
threw a
care for Life
curveball
Force
and said Texas Chainsaw too, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie, it did come with a slipcover, and I was going to throw it away, but Dirk wanted it for whatever reason, so I gave it to Dirk. I was sending him movies anyway. That slipcover is nonsense. It makes no sense with the movie. I understand. This is, I like this movie so much, and the artwork. This artwork, I've never seen this before. I'm not familiar with it, so I just liked what they did there. It's real simple. It's clean. And the movie, every time I watch it, I like it more. I see more. It's so much, again, I know people don't care for this. It's a super slow movie. It's fucking weird as fuck. It's weird. It's weird as hell. I mean, I can't even begin to explain it. You got a fortune teller woman, gypsy / prostitute hooking up with this mutant boy, like it's just there. That all starts the story. And, it's a guy in a mask wearing a mask to cover his mask.
Yeah.
It's just wearing a mask and gloves. It's so fucking dirty and filthy and just grimy as shit. And I love the carnival and all the carnival characters. And it takes me back to there was a hometown carnival, and it wasn't anything like this. I wish, like, when the hell there was a whorehouse at the carnival? I didn't know about this the whole time. Like, what the hell is going on? There's just so much crazy shit going on. I think Rob Zombie owes his whole career to this movie.
Yeah.
Just every time I watch this movie, I'm like, Rob Zombie must, take the grease out of his dreadlocks, nasty hair, and beat off to this movie. It just, every time it's fun. The berserker and his screams, everything. Whenever he's around women, he just starts drooling uncontrollably. The carnival barker, his dad. He says, "You kill all these people, I'll take you fishing." Like, just you paid $100 for the fortune teller. I could have got you one of them tent girls for 10. It's so much fun, man, and just slimy and perverse. And again, not for everybody, not for most people, but I really like it, and I like it more every time. And this is probably the definitive release. That was another reason it just gone up for me, because we probably won't ever get another release for this movie. And that's fine. This one's good. The scan's much improved. And if you don't have it, and if you're into weird Rom Zombie type shit, check it out.
The artwork for the Blu-ray one's pretty badass.
Yeah, the Blu-ray art is better. Again, Same thing. But
I love carnival setting movies like that. What was that one movie that we got a couple years ago?
Hellfest?
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one.
No.
I don't know. I went into Funhouse with like really high expectations. I mean,
yeah,
carnival setting. I heard a lot about it. Toby Hooper. And I don't know, man. Like, I agree. It's very slow, and I was confused with it. And I don't know. I got to give it a second watch. I can't base it all on just one watch.
When you watch it the first time, it's just like what you said. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know where it's going either. You're like, oh, something's going to happen. But the guy in the character with the mask is just kind of working at the carnival, and you don't really know which way is up for a while. It takes a long time to get going.
Yeah.
But
I definitely have to give it a second watch. What do you think? What do you think? Rob Zombie could make a good remake of that, or no?
If they gave him money, that's the problem. They're not giving him money anymore.
Yeah.
His budgets are micro, so he'd have to have some big money to recreate that carnival. That carnival is a character of its own. There's so much crazy, bizarre shit going on. They got like a real live animal freak show with live two-headed calves, and there's just it's stuff you could never do today.
Yeah.
But I ever since I watched it for a Toby Hooper stream a while back, I just liked it more and more each time I rechecked out this 4K. It's just it's to me, it's probably top 3 Toby Hooper, which that's not saying a whole lot, but You know, I like Eaten Alive and this and TCM. You know,
Yep.
and then TCM 2 was probably right below this for me.
I'm gonna give it another watch. Maybe I'll watch it this month for October. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll like it better on the second watch now that I know kind of what to expect.
Yeah, know what you're in for, and it's like I said, that Berserker, you know, the truck trapped in her. When he gets trapped in that duct with her, with the character, and it's like he's just drooling everywhere. You know exactly what he wants to do.
Yep.
It's just, and she can't get out. It's just like, God damn, this is dark. This is dark even for me. You know.
Right on.
Yeah, good pick, man.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a good pick or not, but I felt like I had to put it number one.
Well, hey, I mean,
recency
it definitely
bias,
wasn't. It definitely wasn't. Something I was expecting you were going to pull out, but hey,
Yeah, I
if that's
wasn't
your
either.
favorite, right on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about here.
Yep.
All right, Tommy, what you got for your number one, buddy?
All right, here we go, man. So this is hands down my number one. This is easy. Like, I don't know, man. I was so excited when they announced this. Was it 2017, Craig?
2017.
We were on the phone and they were like making the announcements late one night for Comic-Con, and my wife is on the couch sleeping right next to me. And when Craig goes, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," he's like, "You're going to freak out." I'm like, what? And he's like, bam, Misery is coming to Screen Factory. I was like so fucking excited. Like right away, I started thinking about like, oh my God, like what is the artwork going to look like?
Yeah.
I was so excited to see the artwork, but this is easily my second favorite Stephen King movie. It's the only book I've actually read cover to cover. And I mean, I guess if you don't count, you know, the It miniseries as a movie, this is definitely my favorite Stephen King movie.
Yeah.
And this artwork is so amazing. Joel Robinson did it. He's definitely my favorite. I met him a couple times. I had him sign the Screen Factory poster for this. And I just love it, man. This movie is so good. Two of the like greatest on-screen performances, I think, by Kathy Bates and homeboy James Caan.
Yeah,
it's just so creepy. This has always been a favorite of mine. I love the setting. It's just so damn good. And we obviously already had this on Blu-ray, but I wanted a collector edition of it. And Joel Robinson even showed me the full picture. Like this is cut off. Like there's a lot more like over here. And they had to trim it down in order to fit, you know. But I just love how you just see the back of her, and the special features on here are so good. It's one of the few Screen Factory releases I've actually watched all the special features for. A lot of different featurettes and shit on here, but that artwork is so badass. Such a good movie. I was so happy when they announced this. This will, unless something crazy comes along, this will always be my favorite Screen Factory release. I know that put this out on 4K, which is cool. It's nice having it on 4K now, but this edition, man, God, I love it.
My first wife, that was the movie. That was our first date. Our first date, we went and see Misery, which was kind of fitting for later. But
no shit.
That was our first movie date. We went on a double date, and it was that movie there. I love that fucking movie, man. Kathy Bates, man.
It won a bunch of awards, didn't it? Or at least a couple. I don't know.
Yeah, well, she won Best Supporting Actress, I think, for that.
Yep.
And she was a stage actor, man. She hadn't done anything movie wise, I don't think. And so that launched her career.
It's just that like the part where he's going through the house while she's gone, trying to like find shit. It's so suspenseful. And when he wakes up in the middle of the night, she's just staring at him.
Yeah. My favorite part, one of my favorite parts is when she first starts fucking losing her mind a little bit. She's talking and she starts spilling the fucking soup on the bed.
Yeah.
James Caan's face is like, oh shit, I might be in trouble.
It's right at that point where he realized this bitch has got a screw loose, you know, and he's just, and then the part where she really breaks down and she's like, nobody knows you're here. I never called anybody, and you better hope I don't die, because if I die, you die. And it's like, holy shit. Can you imagine being in his position?
And then the more he finds, as it's going on, he's finding out she's even crazier than he realized. There's the clippings and all that stuff. It's intense. And when he's going around in the house trying to find shit, that is some of the most intense scenes in the history.
When he's laying in the bed, he's got his knife in his fucking sling, and he's practicing pulling the fucking knife out. It's fantastic, dude.
Yeah.
No, right after she breaks his fucking legs and she says hey to him through the window, he just goes,
yeah.
She's a fucking bird.
Oh, I hate that part, man, when she does his ankles and shit.
Tommy, we got to spoof that. We have to spoof that where I'm tied up. You break my ankles with a king size Reese.
Yeah. That's a hell of a pick, man.
It's so damn good, man. Like, just oh my god, I could go on forever. I gotta ask really quick though, like, because I know everybody has seen this. The scene where he tries to poison her with the medicine, you know, and she knocks over the glass. Do you think she knew that he was trying to poison her, or was that just a fluke?
I don't think she knew. I think she was too fucking crazy. She actually believed that he was romancing her, and I think she was geeking out about that so much that she was just nervous. I don't think she knew. I always thought she did.
I always wondered, like, did she know he was trying to do that? So okay.
She's very observant. I mean, she knows everything about that house. Like, he knocks over a fucking penguin and he puts it back up the wrong way. That's how she knows he was around the house.
Yep.
But
yeah, fucking awesome.
She's up there listening to fucking Liberace or Lawrence Welk, whatever the fuck it is. Got them eating her fucking Doritos in bed. Cheetos, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good, man. All right. Well, yeah, I could go on and on about that. It's one of my all-time.
I could too. That needs to be a stream all by itself.
It's in a it's definitely in my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
So my number one, it was announced right after Tommy's number one was announced. So when we were on the phone for that live stream, we knew at the time that Scream Factory pretty much releases anything MGM horror. So I'm telling Tommy, I'm like, this is going to be the year where Scream Factory announces Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Like, that was like my big hopeful right there because it's an MGM title. And then Tommy was like, how cool would that be if they released Misery? And then I'm like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So then I'm looking through the announcements and I told Tommy, I'm like, oh my God, guess what? Guess what they announced? He's like, what? He's like half asleep on the phone. He's like, what they announced? I'm like, they announced Misery. And Tommy's like, yes. He just like screamed.
I like wake up my wife. She like jumps up right there, like, what the hell happened?
So as I was not expecting this title to get announced because it was with Anchor Bay on a regular Blu-ray. And I'm thinking Killer Clowns is coming, but they threw this curveball and they announced Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is my number one. I love Christmas and I love horror and I love the two aspects mixed together.
Yep.
This is definitely my favorite artwork. Just look at that, the colors and the purple and just Santa Claus on the front. This release came with a figure as well, a NECA figure. If you guys don't have that one, it's pretty cool. And they released it as well. But yeah, just 1984, a slasher about a killer Santa Claus. This movie they tried to ban this movie. A bunch of moms tried to get together and ban it and take it out of the theater. What's cool about this is the first time they had the uncut. No, I guess it's not the first time because I think the other Blu-ray had it, but they had the uncut footage put back into the unrated version of this movie. So kind of like what they did with My Bloody Valentine, like they couldn't really restore the uncut stuff that good. So when you're watching this movie, it goes from like crystal clear to like VHS quality. That's when the uncut stuff's in there. But definitely a really cool slasher. Something I watch every year during Christmas. It's definitely right up there with my love for the the Black Christmas remake from 2006. Like I could watch this back to back. And this is kind of like, it's not a whodunit slasher. Like you see the killer's the main character of the movie. I mean, you see him as a kid. Like the movie starts out where they visit the grandfather in the mental institution, and the grandfather just scares the kid to death, saying that Santa Claus is going to come and kill you if you're naughty. And the kid's so terrified of it. And at the same time, as they're driving home, there's a killer Santa Claus that's broken down on the side of the road that ends up, shooting the mom and the dad. And that's what kind of puts him over the edge. And he goes to like an orphanage, and there's a nun at the orphanage that abuses him all his childhood. And then finally, when he's an adult, he gets a job at a toy store. And one of his duties is dressing up as Santa, playing Santa Claus for the kids that take their picture with.
That was a mistake.
as soon as you see him in that Santa outfit, you're like, oh no, that's gonna push him over the edge.
Yep, that's
And
what it does.
That's exactly what it does, and it just turns into a slasher from there.
Punish.
Yeah, punish. There's a really cool death scene with what's that girl, that actress's name? She's naked in every 80s movie.
Linnea
Quigley.
Yep. He picks her up and just impales her on deer antlers, and like it's just it's so cool. Like some of the stuff he uses, like he uses the axe, he uses a hammer, a bow and arrow. And there's that infamous sledding scene where those two bullies, like they steal the kid's sled, and the one kid goes down the hill. He's like, all right, let's go, your turn. And then the second kid goes down the hill, and then you see the axe come out, punish, and then he just decapitates the one kid. And then you see the sled come down the hill, and it's just a body without a head, and the kid's like,
oh yeah.
But I can't say enough about this movie. I mean, it's my favorite release. It's my favorite artwork, and it was just such a surprise announcement for me when I was hoping for Killer Clowns, and they announced Silent Night of the Night, and I couldn't believe they got this. I got the poster signed by Joel Robinson. If I can ever meet, who is this? Brian, I'm trying to think of this guy's name.
Brian Wilson.
Robert Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
So if I ever get to meet him, I got to get him to sign my poster, and I got to get a picture with him. Just because I love this movie. It's just such a great Christmas slasher. And if anyone in the chat has not seen this, please give it a watch. You will love it. I mean, it's just so from start to finish, it's just an awesome time. You'll have a big smile on your face. This is what I'm hoping that gets a 4K release. I know it's
I think it will.
Art, but
they obviously released part 2, the Scream Factory as well, and that came with the Ricky figure too. And I got to meet Billy and Ricky, the brothers, at a convention, and I had them both sign the figures. So it was pretty cool. And I got a photo op of both of them wearing the Santa costumes.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But I love that artwork. What I love about that artwork is like Joel Robinson, like I don't know how he did it, but when you look at it, he made it look like the Christmas lights are actually lit up. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you look at it, it almost looks like you can see them it's like really lit up on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
It's a badass slip.
And then, of course, the second one pretty much matches it, which is pretty cool. But for anybody who hasn't seen the second one, it's okay, but it's just basically like it's like the first movie. Like there's like what is it, like 60% of the movie is just like shots from the first movie.
Yeah. And this is
and
loaded. I mean, loaded with special features. Look at that list on the back in green right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just they really went above and beyond on this release. With the NECA figure and everything like that. So
definitely in my top 5 favorite Christmas horror movies for sure.
Yeah, so it doesn't get any better than this for me. I mean, I just love Christmas and I love horror, and that's why it's my number one.
Hell yeah,
man. All right, my number one here. Anybody that's watched my channel probably knows what I'm fixing to pull here. I've mentioned this movie quite a bit. Whatever. It's not only is it one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's my favorite horror comedy of all time. My favorite comedy of all time. It's just it fills in a lot of favorites for me, and that is Return of the Living Dead. Now I don't know if this is the only slip I've ever had. I don't know if this is the alternate or if this is the main slip. I don't know.
That's the main one.
That's the main one.
Okay, I know that Brian Goes Blue has the alternate, and I'm talking to him. I think I'm going to grab that from him because I don't have any of the alternates. Back when I was collecting, I just got whatever slip came with it. But I absolutely fucking adore this movie, man. Again, I remember seeing this in theaters. I was so young. Mom had to drop me and a buddy off at the theater to go see it. I do remember that. That's the first time I'd ever seen it. And I've seen this movie probably a fucking 100 times since then. It came out in 1985. It was directed by Dan O'Bannon. And talking about Linnea Quigley, you get a lot of full frontal nudity from her.
Yeah.
So a lot of the movie is trash. But I don't really get into like soundtracks and shit like that too much for movies. But the soundtrack for this movie here, the music in this movie is fantastic.
I agree.
It really helps the movie for me. Just I don't know, just like when the fucking skeleton comes out and they start playing that fucking song, man. It's such a cool scene when the rainstorm starts. But it's got a great cast. You got Clu Gallagher, James Karen, Tom Matthews. You probably know him from Part 4, Friday the 13th. Or is it 4? It's 5.
Part 6.
Like he's in.
6.
Is it 6?
6.
Well, whichever one. You know what I'm talking about. But he's fucking great in this opening scene where Tom Matthews and James Karen are sitting there at the office. He's being trained to work at the warehouse. and he's like, "What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen?" The whole interaction of him trying to explain, about the Night of the Living Dead, the bodies got delivered by mistake, and then the fucking full ring. Just that whole fucking interaction is fantastic.
Yeah.
And whatever they had to call the boss, whatever, Clue Gallagher, and when we had the fucking the body in the fucking in the freezer room, the cadaver, and the cadaver comes out. The whole interaction it's comedy gold for me. He's like, hit the brain. I hit the fucking brain. Anyway,
it's just over the top.
You got the split dogs that are fucking coming back to life. It's just a fucking blast, man. You got all the punks, whatever. They're all fucking done great. Then you got fucking Tarman. I mean, come on, the guy that plays Tarman. I mean, that's great special effects, but that's a dude that's that fucking skinny walking, making all those motions he does. Such a great fucking zombie. But I fucking love the movie, man. I've watched it so many times, and this is a great fucking release. Special features on this are top notch. By far, I'm gonna say for a pretty good stretch, this is my number one Scream Factory release. Absolutely fucking adore this movie. Now, I pulled this one here. I couldn't put this in the top 5. One, I hadn't watched it yet, and two, they kind of were real lazy about the artwork on this. If they could have done something like this, for the fucking Evil Dead release, reverse artwork, whatever the whole 9 yards, this could have probably made my fucking top 5 being a brand new release. Yeah. I fucking love this movie, but these lazy son bitches, if you hadn't seen yet, which I'm sure all y'all have, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
Doing that a lot with the 4K releases. They haven't been getting alternate shit.
Well, 4K re-releases, I'm thinking, yes, okay, I guess I can kind of see that. But this is a brand new Scream Factory title.
Yeah, first time to 4K.
They did nothing for it, and that would have been my number one as well.
Give it this kind of love, and it's my top 5 for sure. I love that fucking movie.
Yeah,
coming to 4K.
I had to set aside for my honorable mention.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's what
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
So, of course, you got the classic artwork there, man. I fucking adore this movie, man. I like the sequels, but the sequels are not near as fun for me as this one here.
Demon's in there from part 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
With his mullet, his curly hair mullet.
Yeah. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Great pick, Pops. Yeah, I that's another one I watched for the first time a couple years ago, and I was really, really, really dug it, man. It's like an awesome. You can almost basically call it like a parody of zombie movies, Yeah. And I loved it, man. It was fucking great. Great cast, great music. It's such another one of those like fun movies like Demon Night.
It's a weird one, man, because you got the hardcore scenes, especially at the end. It gets real dark at the end. But, then you got the comedy aspects where you got the zombies asking to send more cops, And the funniest part of the movie to me is whenever, and it's a very, very quick scene, but next time you watch it, keep an eye out for it if you ain't already noticed it. There's one scene where I think the cop shows up, or no, they go out to try to get to the car, if I remember correctly. And there's a zombie that's like a midget. I'm sorry, it's a little person. And he's sitting there, eating the brains or whatever, and he jumps up and starts running after the guy. Well, I think he has no legs. I think from his knees down, he has no legs. And he told the director, he says, "Look, I could run on my knees. I could run for short distances, whatever." So they dressed him up like a zombie, and they had him chase the guy for just like 10 steps, and then he like falls over. Next time you watch the movie, keep an eye out for that scene. It's actually a dude with no legs. So it's pretty funny. So, but there's just so many things about that movie. I've watched it so many times, man. It holds up. And like I said, it's got the comedy, and then you got the dude, fucking James Cairn, whatever. When he drops down on his fucking knees, he's fixing to burn himself. He puts his wedding ring on the thing. They're playing that music, man. That music just brings it together. Such a hardcore scene, man.
Yeah,
I fucking love it. So, but anyway, that's my number one.
We got some great picks, man. Not like we only had like 2, I think, duplicates, but otherwise, pretty good variety of shit between us all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other than garbage, we won't talk about that anymore.
All right, guys, we'll catch up on the chat here and we'll get on out here. We've been going for right at 3 hours. Yes, Craig, we said 2 hours ish. I don't know if 3 hours ish, but
real quick, we don't have to show a title. What was number 6 on everybody's list?
Well, I got the title right here. I can show you. That was number 6.
Yeah, I love that Blu-ray artwork. Evil Dead, the remake, would be my number 6. I'm so fucking pissed about them not giving that thing the treatment. I couldn't even put it in my top 5. But that's the definitive edition of that movie. I love that movie so much.
You know, I'm with you, Brad. I pulled it off the shelf, man, because I'm so pissed. This is so close to could have been their release of the year.
Yeah,
you know? And I'm just,
all the shit they could have done. The fucking raining blood with the fucking demon steaming, and just the girl splitting her fucking tongue with the giant razor. I mean, anything they could have done with it, it would be great. And really disappointing. But I love that movie so much that it'd be my number 6 for sure.
Yeah.
Mine was I talked about Day of the Dead and Body Bags, but I think if I really had to pick a number 6, it was probably Teen Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's another movie I just loved. I mean, the art could have been better. It was kind of boring, but another movie I grew up on, and kind of a weird, different type of title, I guess, to be a collector edition. I mean, to be a Scream Factory collector edition, it probably would have made more sense being a Shout Select or something. But it was still cool. And I know many people don't like the second one, but I like the second one. A young Jason Bateman, but Teen Wolf was always another top favorite of mine growing up.
The best part of Teen Wolf is when he's in the bathroom changing, and he's like freaking out because his dad's knocking on the door, and he opens the fucking door, and his dad's a full fucking werewolf. The look on his dad's face is classic, man. I remember laughing my ass off of that.
He said something like, "I think we need to have a talk" or something, and
there's that.
So many great moments, when he's like on top of the van and Surfing USA by the Beach Boys. It's just cool.
Oh yeah, and that famous scene that everybody talks about now, the basketball game. You got the extra up in the stands that's got his pants unbuttoned. The game, he stands up and his fucking pants are just hanging buttoned. What the fuck are you doing?
I know.
My number 6.
My number 6 in the liquor store, and he's all like, "Give me a keg of beer." Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Craig.
Oh, you're good. My number 6 was Carrie. So hopefully that gets a 4K release. I mean, that's a great early movie for Brian De Palma. I mean, just such an awesome
Didn't
movie.
like anything else he's done.
Very atmospheric and creepy, just like the way that Sissy Spacek played the shy and like insecure girl, like and how crazy the mom was, like she was like a religious fanatic, and just that whole scene at the end, like when John Travolta and that girl dumped the pig blood on her, and I mean she just goes full batshit crazy and just like slaughters everybody in the gym. Like just watching that scene, like I don't know.
I always forget that you get a young John Travolta in that movie.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The alternate artwork kicks ass for that.
Yeah, it had an alternate slip pop. You got to find that one.
Yeah, I do. Because I have one of the slips. I don't know if it's the main one or the alternate, but I have no alternates. I only have one slip. The only alternates I got is Child's Play 2 and 3, or whatever.
Yeah, you got to pick up those alternates, man.
For now.
Yeah, Brian's got some that he's gonna hook me up with. So me and him's been talking. So
hell yeah. But yeah, that's the Carrie. That's a great one, man. Those
we were talking
those religious type characters in movies like the chick in The Mist. You know, like they always creep me out in movies. Like, I don't know.
The first time I seen that was on TV, and I had to be fucking less than 10. And that was the final scene with the fucking hand come out of the ground. Yeah, I was fucked up over that.
Fuck yeah.
But I've already got the vinegar. We were talking about Vinegar Syndrome earlier, releasing that maybe. I already got the slipcover picked out. When the scene after the pig blood drops and they do the split screen when she's closing all the doors, when she's kind of looking down, her eyes are real big, she's got the blood all over. That could be the fucking cover right there. And make all the blood how they shiny shit up with some of the parts of the
like a gloss,
that needs to be the cover right there. That's a great fucking shot.
I'll tell you what, dude. PJ Souls was hot in that movie with the pigtails. Before she did Halloween.
Right.
All right, Craig, calm down.
I love PJ Souls. Totally.
Just an outburst with the pigtails. Oh my god.
PJ, you love PJ Souls. See anything you like?
Boy, did she didn't age that well. You see her in even in like Devil's Rejects, and that was a good over 10 years ago. She's in that movie, and she did not age very well.
All right, guys, we're gonna catch up on the chat here, and we're gonna get on out of here.
Well, we can't leave until you tell us your Cheeto story.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. We'll get done with the chat, then I'll save that for later. It'll be fast. It's
Speaking of
a pretty
Cheetos,
short story, and everybody's gonna think differently of me, and I might lose some subscribers over it. But it's a totally true story. All right. So hell yeah, thanks for the slip. I'm talking about the slip that Brad sent him. Gunther, that's the big tall guy. It rhymes with keto. There you go. Yeah, Bradley Gunther was that big
yeah, I always
kid
just
guy,
say
whatever.
Berserker. It's just better to me that he has no name.
Any fan said the kid in the funhouse had an unhealthy attraction to his sister. The carnival setting is amazing. They used to have low rent strippers at local carny shows in my area. Sleazy and great dart rides too. So how'd you know about them strippers there, Eddie?
Yeah. Never knew.
Right, Wild Wrangler says, the fuck is that? Oh,
sorry. It's a motorcycle.
I thought it was a jackhammer for a minute. What the fuck is that? Wild Wrangler says, laughing fat woman freaked me out.
I love when the carnival barker is there with Gunther, and he calls him Dad, and the carnival barker is just like infuriated. Don't you ever call me that?
Dirk said, absolutely, Rob Zombie could make a great remake. I'm talking about the Funhouse. Just take his pen and keyboard away. Don't let him write a damn thing ever again.
Yeah, that's true. He's a great director, but not a very good writer.
Yeah. Coco, what's going on? We almost watched the Funhouse tonight. Definitely will be watching soon. Wild Wrangler says, heard Rob Zombie was going to remake Hotel Hell years ago. Yeah. Dirk says, Misery, hell yeah. Kathy Bates has to be a psycho for real with that performance.
Right?
Yeah.
She's so
best actress. Yeah, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress. All right, Slither is a great Scream Factory release, great cover. Yeah, that was mine and Brad's number 5, I think, or his number 5. Both of our number 5s.
Yep.
Fish, see what you made me do. See what you made me do. You never got out of the cock-a-doodle car.
Sorry. I just get worked up sometimes.
What does she say right before she breaks his ankles?
Like something like, God, I love you.
Yeah,
that was after she broke both of them. She goes and says, God, I love you. Because I put that in one of my intros, and I had to cut out the part to do the God, I love you right after she broke the ankle.
Yeah. Do you know in the book she like rapes him and shit?
Yeah, she cuts his fucking legs off in the book.
Yeah, well, with a lawnmower in the book, she uses the lawnmower in the book, I think, to cut his legs off or some shit like that.
I thought it was an axe, but I can't remember.
Maybe it was an axe. I thought it was a lawnmower, but I haven't read the book in 25 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It was right after I seen the movie. I read the book. All right, Kathy is fantastic. All it says, all the spoof ideas. One of you is the creepier smelling Reese's.
The creeper smelling Reese's.
The creeper smelling Reese's.
Big handful of pieces.
Yeah, she's like, he was there by your car, holding big handfuls of Reese's up to his nose, looking like he was enjoying it too.
Yeah. And you need a big fucking Reese's on your fucking head.
Sticks made to look like hands.
Or like do the end scene of just like with just long without the eyes, just put 2 cups in my eye and
every 23rd spring for 23 days, Tommy and Craig get to eat. Reese's.
You're getting the behind the scenes of what Tommy and Craig talk about 24/7. I feel like
this is the special features for those.
How can we tie Home Alone into this?
You could give us any freaking scene in a movie. We could come up with a spoof cover it in like 2 seconds.
The creeper runs into John Candy's polka band on the way back with his mom.
As long as it's slip covers and Reese's and keto, it'll work fine.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Wild Wrangler says Sheriff in Misery is an awesome actor. Yeah, he really is. And
I meant to say that, yeah.
And me and my wife, we always use a line from that movie where he says something about there's that spice again. You know, he's talking to his wife. There's that spice. I say that to my wife all the time.
Boy, his his scene where he gets blown away was like, I remember seeing that for the first time. It was so unexpected because he was such a nice guy. And I was like, he's like, Mr. Sheldon. And then bam. It's like, holy
man,
shit.
that's rough. He's a great actor, man. He did good in that role. The sheriff and his wife were great. Yep. All right. Dirk said, punish. Hell yeah. Our Indie fan says, top Scream Factory collector's edition for me is My Bloody Valentine. I'm a bit biased because it was shot in my part of Canada, and I remember seeing it first when it premiered on regular TV. Moosehead beer on hand. That's cool.
Yeah, that got an alternate slip too. Yeah, that was a really cool release. I remember hearing that announcement in 2019 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good.
I'm glad they put the scenes back in too. I mean, that's a brutal movie.
That's another really good remake.
Yeah, I like the remake too. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You also love the 2 posters that Scream released for My Bloody Valentine and the improved transfer for the uncut. Another one for the list, Craig. Garbage Day.
Yep.
Brian says they'll piss us off and only put the theatrical cut of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 because they can't find a 4K print of the unrated footage. I meant 2, not 2.
Yeah.
Brains.
Clue Gallagher, RIP. Yeah, and I hate to say this, man. I feel bad, but this is the guys out of the street. I'll be honest with y'all. I thought he had already passed away. I didn't know he was still alive, but I've heard he passed. I thought he passed away a few years back for some reason. Yeah, he was a great one, man. Dylan Movie says,
Great and Feast.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I won't be here long, but wanted to at least pop in and show some support. I appreciate it, Dale.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Jay said they did F all of that Evil Dead release. I'm good with the Blu-ray. Good selections, guys. Even Garbage Pail Kids.
Thank you.
You took a lot of heat off me, Tommy. When you pulled Garbage Pail Kids, I'm like, my number one is going to go over like a turd in a punch bowl. And then I was like, well, fucking Tommy pulled Garbage Pail Kids. It's all right.
I'm golden. Yeah, so what's the difference between their release of Evil Dead and the Happy Death Day 4Ks? As in, what do they do differently content-wise? I think we got to lawyer up. Well, Happy Death Day is what considered collector's editions. You don't even get slipcovers with those.
I know. I was so pissed.
But I don't know why they didn't release those as collector's editions with
Tommy
slips.
called the police. Tommy called the police when it came in. He's fucking nuts.
No, I called Amazon. I said, look, I said, I want you to send your driver back to my house and bring me a slipcover.
Oh, yo, tell the story what happened with Misery when you first got it in the mail.
Oh, yeah. Out of all movies, I was the most excited about that one, obviously. And when I was doing the unboxing, I opened it up, man, that slipcover was destroyed. Like, it was so, like, ripped apart. I'm like, why does it have to be this one? And it's funny because I edited the video really cool, like, because I did a refund and I got the movie in like one day, like the replacement for it. And I edited it together to where like I like pretended like I went on my phone and did the refund, and then all of a sudden the doorbell rang and the new one was already there for the same video. It was really funny the way I did it, but yeah, it showed up completely like ripped in half. I was like, almost like somebody did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But,
hey, can we get a vote in the chat and we'll hold up our top 5 and see who got the best top 5?
Yeah, let's vote that.
Let's get on it. Hold on.
Well, I'm sitting outside and I only have 2 on me, so here's my Misery.
I don't mind in the right order. I think they're the right order.
So Misery, Jeepers Creepers, They Live, Halloween 3, and Garbage Pail Kids.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, Halloween 3, Demon Night, Candyman, Alone in the Dark.
Yep. Slither Psycho 2, Sleepaway Camp, Creep Show, and Return of the Living Dead.
You guys can read.
Yeah, like I was saying, man, cool variety. I think we all picked really good shit.
Yeah, man. I can't argue with any of them.
I mean, I have to admit, I was kind of scared to show Garbage Pail Kids because I thought I'd get so much shit for it. But I'm like, you know what? I have to be honest.
Oh, we'll wait for the votes come in here. It says, Indy says, T Wolf gets funnier each time I watch. I haven't seen the sequel. Trick or Treat 86 is the flick I most want to see get a release from Scream.
Yeah. Is that the Ozzy Osbourne one? I think they're talking about Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons.
Trick or Treat. I believe so. And
Yeah, I think so.
barely in it.
Yep.
Carrie's one of my favorite movies, period. I bet Vinegar Syndrome will do Carrie.
I could see that now, especially.
I wouldn't hate that. And it says, "You did what? You opened it? You stupid moron! You idiot! What's the matter with you, Frank? Haven't I already told you to never even go near those goddamn tanks?"
Yeah.
God damn, I love that movie. Wild Wrangler said, "Pops, nothing you say or do will put me to shame." Just wait. Dia Katana 65. He voted Tommy. So far, Tommy, you got one vote. And
I'm not going to put Alan on blast, but he told me a story. The story started out. I had a spit take when he started the story with this line: "I fought a blind man once."
I did. I got in a fight with a blind man once.
Whenever I was drinking, I said, "What? What are you talking about?"
Well,
so
he was asking for it, man.
It can't be as bad as that story.
And he wasn't totally blind. He had tunnel vision. I mean, he could see right here. I was in front of him, so he could see me. But yeah. If I told y'all that whole fucking story, I don't want to get into that. Whatever. Y'all would agree he did his ass.
Unveil. Just him saying that. I was like, I don't even know. I don't even need to hear the story. It's already hilarious.
Jada said, for me, it's a toss up between Pops and Craig. Oh, I got half a vote. It says, "I'll let you know after I watch the titles I haven't seen. I have a feeling it's probably Craig."
One vote.
Close, but I'll go with Pop's top 5 creep show and Sleepaway Can't Put It Over. Did you get in a fight with Stephen Lane from Don't Breathe? No.
There you go, Anthony.
I'll vote for Brad Funhouse's Badass.
There you go.
Tommy, is that video the unboxing the brand new Screen Factory Collector's Edition?
No, this would have been just like one of those weekly unboxing videos a couple of years. So it would have been from 2018 probably, but
our Cheeto story real fast. This is going to be short. All right. So y'all know, like your local mall, like the mall, whatever, when around Christmas time, you have people walking around, pimping like lotions and perfumes and shit, oh, well, let me put some of this lotion on you so you can smell it. Yeah. Girls walk around, they just walk around trying to pimp shit, right? Well, I was out Christmas shopping for my wife, and I just had lunch. I went to Subway and got a sub and got a bag of Cheetos. I sat at the parking lot of the mall, ate my sub, ate my bag of Cheetos. I go inside the mall to go shopping. I'm walking around my little trying to find shit. I got 4 kids, so I'm trying to find all kind of shit. Well, the lady kind of corners me. Usually I try to dodge these bitches like crazy. Well, she kind of cornered me. She says, "Oh, you need to get this lotion for your wife, yada, yada, yada." She's here, let me show you. And when she gets my hand, and she starts rubbing lotion on my hand, and I'm looking down, and I got Cheeto dust on my knuckles, and I'm going in the bag, and I got Cheeto dust on my fingernails. And I go, "Oh, fuck." And she looks at that, she says, "What's this on your hand?" And I don't want to go, my fat ass has been eating Cheetos. So the first thing that popped in my fucking head, and I don't know why, I don't even know what this looks like, because I'm definitely not a fucking mechanic. I was rebuilding my transmission. I guess I didn't clean my hands. I make her think it was something manly. That's the first thing that popped in my fucking head. So she's sitting there thinking the Cheetos dust is transmission fluid or whatever. Or I'm going on the fucking car. And so she plays it off. So luckily, this girl didn't know any better. And she didn't realize it was fucking Cheeto dust. But I'm thinking, we got this top little fucking girl, whatever. My fucking ass is walking around with Cheeto dust on my knuckles like a goddamn Neanderthal.
What the hell, Pops? You didn't lick that shit off? You're supposed to do that.
Well, I thought I did. I guess I missed it. I didn't realize it got on my fucking knuckles. But anyway, that was my Cheeto story. Like I said, true story. Can't make that shit up.
Oh my God, hilarious.
But
you guys,
people that know me know that I don't work on a fucking transmission. I can barely change oil. That's about the best I can do.
Do you remember that thing that was floating around the internet like, I don't know, 5 years ago or maybe longer or something, where somebody posted a picture on the internet of a Cheeto that supposedly looked like Jesus or something?
No, it's the Cheeto that looked like Harambe.
What was it?
It looked like Harambe, the gorilla that got shot.
There's a Cheeto for everything. There's one that looks like Ronald
I don't
Reagan.
remember that. All I remember is it was a Cheeto that supposedly looked like Jesus.
There's
It got
several.
bid up to like $100,000.
Yeah.
I don't think I could eat a Cheeto if it looked like Jesus.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm usually doing 4 or 5 Cheetos at a time, and I don't even look at them. So
well,
just reaching to grab a few Cheetos.
That's what I do every time.
we gotta.
Yeah.
And Scream. He's looking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we gotta go around really quick here. Puffed or crunchy? I have to say crunchy.
Cheetos, I go crunchy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be crunchy for me too, but I ain't gonna kick either one of them out of bed. I mean,
It's unanimous. It's crunchy.
yeah.
Crunchy all the way. What is that, Craig? Remember Little Giants? He's like, crunchy or puffed? Puffed. Wimp. Remember that movie, Little Giants?
Yeah.
Needs a Blu-ray.
Yep.
I can definitely relate to that fat kid.
He put his lunch inside his helmet.
At football practice,
Yeah.
he's running and he can't breathe.
You hear him? He's like,
That was me at football practice.
it's like cups or sticks. Sticks. Wimp.
That's just another one. They're writing these down. That's the way those two go.
Cups or sticks.
Oh shit.
Oh god damn.
Let's see what other votes we got out there. Let's see if we, I ain't even keeping track of what votes we got. What I got? What'd you say we all did great? How about
I feel
that?
bad. Brad hasn't gotten any yet. I don't think.
Oh, right there. I'll vote for Brad. Funhouse is badass.
Oh, that's right. Somebody else said something about Funhouse. Okay, that's right.
Yep. All right, seeing that one. I know a guy who got beat up by a one-armed man. Wow.
Was it the drummer from Def Leppard?
I was at a backroom card game when I was 20 years old, and there was a guy there with one arm that got in fights regularly, and he'd always grab them by their collar and then slam his head right into their nose every time.
Hey, you got
It happened. He'd get about 14 beers in him and then get in a fight with somebody. It happened. And what do you do? You know, like there'd be guys there that get in a fight with him and like, what am I supposed to do? Fight back? And I'd be like, hell yeah, he does this every fucking night.
I was in a bar one night and this damn bar fight broke out. And there was I wasn't involved. I was at the bar watching whatever. But these 3 or 4 guys got in a fight, and this one guy's buddy was on the ground. He was trying to help out. So he had these fucking steel-toe work boots, and he went to try to kick the other guy, but they rolled just at the wrong time, and he ended up kicking his buddy square in the ass. And we kicked the shit out of him. After the fight was over, we were outside, fixing to leave. Everybody's outside bullshit talking about things. He's, man, I feel all right. My goddamn ass is killing me. Man, I wonder what happened. The guy never told him it was him that kicked me. But he kicked the shit out of him, dude. It was hilarious.
Or like on Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze is just like watching everybody when that bar fight breaks out, and then that Terry Funk dude's like, it's like, why don't you tell us what the fuck you're gonna do? You gonna help us out here or not? I'll let you know.
There's always barber college.
Always barber college.
Yeah, there's always barber college. You're
What
a
the fuck
dick.
am I supposed to do?
Just be nice. If somebody gets in your face and calls you a cocksucker, I want you to be nice.
What if he calls my mama a whore? Is she?
Is she?
The dude's banging a girl on duty. He gets there, he says, "I'm on my break." Like,
Stay on it.
Stay on it. I love that movie, man.
Yeah, man. Brian said, "You guys get some good stuff during the Shocktober sale so far. We already know Alan is pretty much up to date. I grabbed the October releases, which wasn't on sale, and I got the Poison Ivy box up. All I got.
Yeah, I didn't get anything. I pretty much, other than like, new shit coming out that I keep up to date on, there's not really much else that I want from past titles.
Yeah.
I think I grabbed RoboCop 2, Candyman 2, Halloween 3, the 4K was $18. Just some older shit, Night of the Comet, just some older.
Yeah, let me know if any of those come with slips. I'd be curious to know if any slips come with those.
Yeah.
Those older titles.
What kind of slip's going to come with Halloween 3? That's the real question.
Yeah.
If it's going to be one of those bullshit Walmart ones, or if it's going to be the box, or
have they made the slipcover versions of those for more than part one? I thought it was just part one so far that they've done.
No, I think I've only seen one, but you know, I just feel like with my luck, that's what I'm expecting.
Right.
Yeah.
I was laughing at something we did. I got to go with Brad's pick. H2, Day of the Dead, Funhouse shit. Yeah, but to be honest, y'all all pulled bangers. Everybody's laughing. Oh, it says the only transmission is you giving your Cheeto dust. You giving her Cheeto dust. Or Fish said, "Oh pops, I was fixing my transmission. I have to remember that one. Like I said, that was completely off the top of my fucking head. I was even when I walking away, I fixed my transmission. Where the fuck did that come from?
So she bought it.
Yeah.
Oh, she was too. I mean, like I said, I ain't saying she was dumb, but she didn't know shit about transmissions. I mean, that could have been transmission fluid for all she knew, or whatever. You know.
So then her husband, like the next day, is like, doing transmission, changing out transmission fluid, and she's like, I thought that shit was orange.
All I can say about that story is, thank God he didn't just eat Cinnabon. Sir,
I cannot eat a Cinnabon without a fork. It just doesn't work. I cannot use my hands.
Sir, it's all over your beard too.
Well, you know.
Oh,
I won't have to worry about her selling me lotion no more.
that is a story I cannot wait to tell people.
Yeah, that's that was something else. Harambe Cheeto. Let's just say I left them all after that. I did shop it another day.
So did you buy the lotion or?
No, I didn't buy the lotion. I got away for as fast as I fucking could.
What's on your hands?
I seen it before she did. When I stuck my hand out there, I seen my orange knuckles. I said, "Fuck!" And we're committed. We're in bed together at this point. Nothing I can fucking do.
Oh my god, it's fucking hilarious.
I said Harambe Cheeto. I got to Google this. Oh, I see it. It does look like a Harambe. We got a crunchy vote from Holland there. From Fish, we got a crunchy. Love Little Giants. Great stream, guys. I will say puffs all the way. In Canada, we have many variants of the puffed. I can eat them anytime.
Okay.
All right. The Cheetos paws, yes, goddamn right. I like Cheetos paws too. The Cheetos paws are the best variant of crunchier puff.
Do they still have those in stores?
Yeah, they're keto. Keto balls.
Keto paws. Hold out your big paw there.
Our brand is called Cheese Sticks from Hostess. All right.
Is she?
Poison Ivy is my jam. I love the first three. I think I've only seen the first one. I might have seen the first and second one. I only remember the first one though. But well, guys, we've been going for about just shy of 3.5 hours. You guys got anything you want to talk about? Promote anything? Anything coming up?
Well, Monday they should have the Scream Factory announcements for December, like the December releases. So hopefully we'll get some good ones in there, like Silent Night, Deadly Night on 4K. And obviously, like 4K is now their big thing. Like, just re-releasing what they have, and hopefully they have a market for it, which they do, which is nice. But I'm very picky with the 4Ks. Like I want it to be titles I love.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Child's Plays, they were awesome. That was great.
Yep.
Evil Dead remake, awesome. They Live, very well deserved. The Craft, Candyman.
Yep.
Like just the titles like that. Like that's what I like to see on 4K. But then you get shit like I'm getting a lot of hate for this. Prince of Darkness. I didn't care for it. I did not care for Prince of Darkness, but people want John Carpenter on 4K. Cat people, Dog Soldiers, Life Force. Like
Life Force.
But it's like I always say, obviously everybody wants their favorites, but I guarantee you there's tons of people out there that were super happy Cat People and Dog and Soldiers game.
They're probably just released the ones that are about to lose the rights to. That's what Brad was saying the other day.
I have a feeling we'd probably I don't know why, but I just feel like I could see them releasing Black Christmas on 4K before.
Black Christmas makes the most sense. It's one of their older titles, it's probably coming for 4K.
Maybe we'll get both. Who knows? But they have to announce something for Christmas. They always do. So, and 4K would make the most sense. So,
yeah. But as far as upcoming stuff, next Saturday, me, Alan, Brian Goes Blue, Ryan, and Dirk will be doing another top 5, the next episode in our top 5 series. So
okay,
we're deep into the 90s at this point. We're at the early 90s, so 91
Craig and
to
I
95.
Craig and I have been talking about doing a live stream coming up here sometime before the new Halloween comes out and doing like a Halloween discussion, talking about like our favorite timelines and our favorite just rating all the movies, or the just rate from favorite to least favorite, and just talking about the new movie and shit. So if any of you guys want to be a part of that or can be, like let me know.
Well, hang out after we go in the live backstage and we'll talk about it real quick before everybody goes.
Okay.
Here we go, guys. Speaking of fighting, who do you think would win in the fight out of you four? I think Brad, because I feel like his meanness would translate to fighting. Well, Brad used to be a fucking MMA fighter. I ain't fucking with him. I'm too old and fat.
We'd all be out of breath by the time we threw the first punch.
Yeah, now? Absolutely. I was stacking wood the other day. I was in bed for 2 weeks.
My best chance is I'm going to have to get out in the first round. Either somebody knock me the fuck out or I need to knock you out.
I don't know.
I'm done.
I don't know if I want to take on Pops with, he's fighting blind people and he's got Cheeto hands. I don't know.
Yeah. Alan, I'm telling you, Alan is you get him angry, you get him fired up. That's a different thing. This all shucks guy over here, the nice Southern guy, that guy goes away when he gets angry.
No.
Oh no. When they didn't put that number on that spine, Jesus Christ. They're lucky they're over in London. They're lucky they're over in the UK.
That sounds like me and Craig when we found out about Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Even Creepshow didn't have collector's edition on the box.
It was supposed to. It was. I said, man, it was on the original picture, but in Nightbreed too. That was another one. The box set of that. But supposedly the dudes at Scream Factory have confirmed that Creepshow and Nightbreed are actually both considered collector editions.
Then why doesn't
next weekend's live stream?
I know.
Right. Next week's live stream will be 8 hours long. We don't care if you have anything else to do. Cancel it. Be there. Yeah, we ain't hit 8 hours yet, but we've busted 5 hours in the ass a couple times.
Yeah, as Dirk would say, fuck what you're going through. Just watch it.
Yeah, Tom, you would appreciate this. I'm collecting all the 101 black labels.
Yeah.
And I got the final broadcast, or I think that's what it's called, the last broadcast or whatever. And they have numbers on the spine, 001, 002. Well, this was supposed to be, I think, 023, and there was no number on that bitch.
Really?
You got them all lined up, and there's no number. So what the fuck?
See,
well,
it has
Tony
to be
ever.
It's got to be.
Tony ever based in blues. He verified his has a number on it.
Oh,
and
so okay.
What I'm thinking is I might have got I bought it off eBay. I might have got somebody's screener copy. Is what I'm thinking.
That could be.
So my goofy ass went and bought it again though. I ordered another one. So hopefully that one's got.
Couldn't you just
I'll pay $20 for that number basically?
Couldn't you just return the other one?
I got it from eBay.
Maybe.
Well, send it back to so the new one that you just ordered is off.
The new one's coming from I think Orbit DVD, I believe. If I remember correctly.
Well, then when you get it, return your other one to Orbit.
Yeah, there you go.
You could do that. They ain't gonna know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past Mark to give you problems with that. Plus, I think he watches the shit.
I'll probably give the other one to my buddy Ryan, Dr. Ordinary. I'll probably give that one to him. 8 hours, I can go take a nap in between the comments.
Yeah.
So,
this has
been a blast.
Yeah.
Do what?
I said it's been taking around 4 to 5. We didn't think it would take that long, but it's been doing it. So,
well,
been the longest.
I'll try to reorder Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah. Who was it? They said they just rewatched it. They said it didn't hold up. They remember loving it, but they said when they rewatched it after they bought it, it wasn't as good as they remember.
I totally agree.
I think it might have been Anthony.
Maybe. But guys, I'm gonna be honest. When we first decided to do this stream, I wasn't sure how many people was going to give a shit, man. But we've held a pretty good amount of people this whole stream.
Well,
I think it was a fun
thanks
time.
to everybody, man. Thanks for sticking around, everybody, and
absolutely
hanging with us. This is always fun, and thanks, Pops, for having me, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, always, man. I love having you and Craig on, man. It's a blast.
Hell yeah.
But anytime you guys want to do something, man, hit us up, man. We're game.
Yeah,
for sure.
But guys, we're gonna get on out here. You guys have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank y'all for hanging out. I had to stay for the Cheeto story, and it was 100% worth it. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that might be a story that I'm going to regret telling later, but I will. It's what it is. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. We will see y'all next time. Everybody be good, be safe, and y'all take care.
Yeah, later.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.